Chinaweth, that is. No, Chinaweth. You never been Chinaweth? Fucking that's a popular place in Cornwall, that is. Chinaweth.
To be honest, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I didn't even know this was a place in Cornwall. CHYNOTEWETH.
Chinaweth.
Chinweth. I would say Chinweth. Oh, he's gonna love this one.
So you don't know if I'm wrong on that one, because you don't know how to say it fucking self. It's alright, babe, I've done my fucking bottle. Don't you worry.
Oh, I know the one. I know it. I know the one that you love. The what? No.
Oh, that's Cockwell's. That's what that one says.
Just outside.
Illogan.
He did call it Illigan the first time.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you called it Illigan.
Bollocks. Are you starting the stream?
Shit. It's too busy searching Cornish names. Whoops. Those. That's all. No. That's right. I forgot how to do this after a week. Oh, I know the one. Wait, if I can find it before. Let's sort this stream out first. Yep. There we go. You'll love this one, Matt.
2 secs. Where's my film? That's it. Ponsonooth.
Fuck's sake.
What a place. Oh, they got it right. Oh,
Yeah,
shit
you got
hot.
Ponsonooth.
Shit hot, Tony. You hear that? Eesh. Paste.
There you go. There's your last one.
Paste. Paste.
That's your last one, Mush.
Oh. Stithians? I think I fucking...
You got half of it, right?
The stith.
No.
Oh, Ian's.
Ian's was right, yes.
Stith?
Scythians.
The Stithians.
It's Stydians.
Oh, what?
Stydians. Scythians.
Sure, that's what I said the first time. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
Right, I'm going in the other pie. Best of luck,
best of
guys.
luck,
And
Cheers, dude.
Dad. I'll see you on the podium.
Whoa. Whoa.
Matt,
Yeah.
I'll see you in the gravel.
Yeah, mate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and welcome back once again to some great racing here at Simplay Motorsport. A week off due to obviously a update added to the ACC game where we've amazingly got added to the game GT2s and a Red Bull Ring, but obviously due to the update and obviously with the new settings, it did break the game a little bit. But we are back, we are live, and we are here in Italy of Imola, a most famous circuit, and we are here for the fourth round of the season. I thought it was the third round, but it's the fourth round of the season, as we guys had an extra week to practice and get themselves ready for the races ahead with a sprint and feature this evening. So it is going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. But we are here at the beautiful circuit of Imola, at the beautiful country of Italy, and it's nice to be back racing once again. I've forgotten how to commentate and do the stream and everything. I nearly forgot to put the stream up, but we are here. I have managed to figure it out. So nice to see everybody in here in the chat. Let's hear from you guys as well, as we are looking forward to some great racing here tonight. But first things first, we will look to the top of the table, and once again it is Nova who's leading the way as fastest at the moment. I'm trying to find out the most successful around here is myself up there, D Biggs, Big Boy Brazier, the Ripper, and a few others to that. Dennis Newman has gone quite well around here, but in the Pro-Am category, it is, I believe, only Matt Himovic, the only one really who's made an appearance. Oh, and Dean Wasaki. Dean's had a pole here, but Matt's had he's had a win and a pole here as well. So, the Project Cars record is held by, in the Pro-Am, Keegs. He did a 144.5 in the Mercedes, and the race record is actually held by Monkey Boy in the Mercedes of a 145.2. I think we're definitely going to beat that. The Pros pace is more like it, as Matt was fastest in the Pros with a 42.5, and Overtaker's race pace was a 44.0, but that obviously was on a much older version of the game, and I'm not quite sure if the Project Cars version and the Imola version are quite the same. But I hope everybody can hear me in the chat. Please, let's hear from you guys in the chat. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But as I get the tables sorted as well, let's do a quick run through of this fantastic circuit here at Imola. As we can see there, Goude's had a moment in the gravel trap, as we got Fat Bloke back into the session as well. And so far we got a solid 24 cars at the minute. I believe we should have 26 here tonight. But Imola, FIA Grade 1, obviously hosting the Formula 1 cars around here, and it has got 19 corners if you include the kinks, and a very iconic and fast circuit, very technical, the home of AlphaTauri or RB or whatever you want to call them. This is usually the circuit that they end up taking their cars out to test and take them out on display. I believe Misano is another one that they use as well. The capacity is up to 78,000 people. Like I said, FIA Grade 1. It was opened back in the 25th of April 1953, so it's been here for 70 years now, or 71 years this year. And it has had loads of different names: the Autodrome Dino Ferrari and the Autodrome di Imola are the names that it's previously had. So famous events that it's had is hosted the Italian Grand Prix, the San Marino Grand Prix, the Emilia Romane Grand Prix. I think I said that right. The World Endurance have been here with the 6 Hours of Imola back in 2011, and I believe obviously this year as well they'll be making their returning back to Imola as well. The bikes run here, GTs run here as well, and it's definitely a fun circuit to race on. The track length itself is 3.0 miles long. And like I said, 19 corners. The race record around here is actually set by the Formula 1 car of Lewis Hamilton back in 2020 in the Mercedes W11 of a 1:15.4. Obviously, we've got very famous circuits like Tamburello, Villeneuve, Tosa. I will probably get most of these wrong. Rivazza is the final 2 corners, and Piratella, I think is the other. Piratella, turn number 9. Piratella, I think that's the correct pronunciation for it, but my Italian isn't very good. But that's a quick rundown of the circuit. Obviously, famously for many different reasons here, obviously good and bad, but nonetheless, Imola is one of the all-time favourites for most of the drivers. I know for a fact that it's definitely one of my favourites, and I do enjoy racing around this circuit. So it's a very technical, difficult circuit, a lot of chicanes, heavy braking, but it's all about downforce and chassis around here, and also how much of the curbs that you can abuse. So you might want to set the car up to be a lot higher ride height, and so you can kind of clobber your way over the curves. Obviously, one other thing to watch out for is the pit lane is extremely long, and the pit line comes up incredibly fast, and obviously track limits is going to be another issue here. It is very easy to run wide, and especially at the chicanes, it's very easy just to take a little bit too much track limits and just push that little bit too far than you wished. But that's a quick rundown of the Imola circuit, the Autodrome Enzo Dino Ferrari Imola circuit. As best my Italian sounds, that's what I've called it. Now, like I said, we've got into the Variante Tamburello, which is turn 1, 2 and 3 into the Variante Villeneuve. We've got Tosa, which is the hairpin. Minerali, which is where Winter has just gone through right now. Piratella, Variante Alta, which is the chicane he's coming up to right now. A very tricky chicane to get right, and if you've got the car set up right, you can go through it easily. And if you're Winter, you struggle a little bit on entry, and that's where the track limits is going to kick in. Rivazza is then the final 2 corners, and that's a quick chat about the Imola circuit. Right, next thing to talk about is the tables and where we stand. A week's break after the update has sorted itself out, and the championship standings look like this. It is Matt Duffin who leads the way. He's got a 39-point gap with 283 points to his name, ahead of Flem Speed 1, who's currently sitting in second in the championship. He's over then taken Goudet after a very successful round in his home race at Nürburgring. He comes to Imola with a lot of confidence behind him. And Goudet is sitting P3 at the minute, with Nova slowly starting to bring that gap down to him. There's not many points separating. There's only 5 points separating Goudet and Nova. Max Mulder gets himself into the top 5 ahead of DJ Phil, with Stawson sitting in 7th place position. Then it's Kelly Davis in 8th place position, just ahead of Leon Fernie, who's in a tight fight with Dean of the Greasy Bandits Racing duo in P10. Ian Gray currently in 11th with Micro J's in 12th. Nikita sitting in 13th with Pia Radin in 14th. 15th is M. Tucker, with 16th is R. Michelle. 17th is D. Evans, with Playman sitting in 18th place position. John Andrews currently down in the 19th place position, with Allsbrook currently 20th. Dean Wasocki 21st, and Dan Johns in 22nd. Cranky Duckhead in 23rd, with Fat Blow 24th, Winter 25th, Craig sitting 26th, Peterson 27th, 28th is Richie, and 29th is Joester. And finishing off the top 30 is Finesse, who's not here this evening. The team's championship, though, looks like this. It's FSO Racing leading the way with the Lamborghini and Porsche boys of Stawson and Flem Speed 1, but I believe Stawson, I don't know if he is no longer with us. Hopefully he will make a return. We're not sure about that. But it is then a solid second place at them and possibly good points ahead of them for the Greasy Bandits racing duo. That is Dean and John Goudet. Very good opportunity for points here tonight. With the Jaeger Boys in P3, Bullet Bandits sitting in P4, with Team Audio Sport Remix in P5. In P6 is ICNE Motorsport, with P7 going to BTC at Jaeger Racing. Team Richie Corsa in P8 with Red Dragon Racing in P9, and in P10 is the Team FBR group. Manufacturers, it is still McLaren leading the way ahead of BMW, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Bentley, Audi, Honda, Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan and the Retia. That is your championship standings and a quick rundown of the grid order that is tonight. If we do get all 26 cars in, we're only missing one more. This should be the grid order. It'll be MB Pitts leading the way, with Joseph sitting in second, Richie Uberstar third, Peterson fourth, with Craig in fifth, Winter sixth, Fat Bloke seventh, Johns in eighth, Wasaki ninth, Andrews 10th, Playman 11th, Michelle 12th, Tucker 13th, Raiden 14th, Nikita 15th, Micro J 16th, Gray 17th, Dean 18th. And that's normal Dean. Leon Fernie, 19th. Davis, 20th. DJ Phil, 21st. Mulder, 22nd. Nova, 23rd. Goudet, 24th. Flem Speed 1, 25th. And Duffin rounding out the grid order due to leading the championship. But like I said, it is Nova in the McLaren who's currently setting at the pace right now. And let's have a look at the split times to see where he's quickest. He's currently fastest in the middle and final sector. And then it's Nikita who's got the fastest first sector. So you can see where the McLaren seems to benefit from the downforce, the extra chassis power, all that on board the vehicle, allowing it to get the best advantage possible in those sectors. In the final sector, it looks like the grunt of the BMW seems to be the one to be in, as the BMW can absorb those curbs quite well in sector 1. So we'll see how these guys get on. As you can see as well, the numbers with Gray's numbers, which is Flem Speed 1 and Matinovich, are the ones that are carrying a ballast or a restrictor. Matt fully maxed out with a 40th kilo on board and a 20% restrictor. And Nova goes faster, and he goes fastest in all 3 sectors now. And Flem Speed on obviously carrying the kilos on board. I believe he's got 20 kilos on board. And as you can see, it does hamper the drivers. I don't know if Nova went for a low fuel run there, but you can see how it affects the drivers in race trim and quali trim. In the race, probably not so much. On a circuit like this as well, there's not really a lot of long straights to get hampered by. Let's see who's at the far end of the circuit and try and take a lap with somebody. We've got the number 18. That is Playman. I'm struggling with his lag, so we might not go with him. 88. We'll go with Nikita. So we'll do a lap with Nikita around this fantastic circuit. I say that, and I've now lost him. Apologies. Oh, we'll then get the next closest to the final sector. There he is. Let's take you for a lap with Nikita. There we go. We will get this right. So as we go down the main straight towards Tamburello, we make sure we get a good exit out of the final corner and head down to the start-finish straight. You cross the line and then head in towards turn 1 where Bottas and Russell came together, break in just before the curb and turn into turn 1, riding the curb as much as possible into 2 and then swinging over to 3. Car wants to run wide as much as possible and you got to try and keep it under control. Once you then spy through, Tamburello is down towards Vilna, breaking out the 50 board, dropping down 2 gears, going into the first part of the chicane, into the second, making sure you don't do what Nikita did, is run wide and then head up towards Tosa, sorry. Gear 2 and 3 through the gears as he goes through the hairpin. It's off camber, trying to put the car off as he heads up to the left-hander. And try to take as much curb as possible to try and close off the corner so you don't run wide as he then heads down to Minerale. Breaking at the 50 board, drop down to 4th. Try and get the car settled as you're constantly braking, learning to trail brake and get through the awkward chicane where then go straight back uphill. Heading now towards the horrible, tricky chicane. As far over he dares, try and take as much curb either way without taking track limits. Try and avoid the yellow sausage curbs because that will invalidate your lap time. As you then head down towards the back end of the circuit, towards the final 2 corners. Even though you've nailed the lap, it is still difficult to get this tricky heavy braking zone downhill correct, get it turned in. Rear end really struggling for grip now. The Porsche's lost it on the exit. Get a good run, get a good exit, and if you've got a lovely toe as Nikita has, you can get a good slipstream off the back of the Porsche, heading towards the start line where you can see the yellow flag being waved and across the line to do a 44.2. And that is a lap around Imola. So thank you, Nikita, for that beautiful example. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Nice to see you all. And how are we doing? Have you missed us? I've definitely missed you guys, and I'm definitely excited to get this race underway. So, we've only got 7 minutes left of this practice session. And I said it is Dan Davis in your commentary box tonight, aka Arnold for Dubs. You'll be seeing me out on track tomorrow night when Matthew Duffin and PN Motorsport will be in the commentary box taking over then. While I get this opportunity, please, while you're watching the stream, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified. If you do want to be a part of the action here at Simply Motorsport, then head over to the Sim Grid and get yourself signed up and be a part of the group, even if it is just chatting on the Discord and yeah, just being a part of everything here at Simply Motorsport. Nice to have your opinions. We do have other fun events on. We usually try and do a bit of Gran Turismo, and we looked at Project Cars. You know, we're not quite onto PC yet, but we're primarily focusing on the PlayStation and Xbox, as most of the admins here only have a PlayStation really, but hopefully we will expand and get more consoles and possibly a PC league in the future. We are trying our very best to kind of give everybody what they need. Mr. Mental says Justine Nova's time a 1:41.7. That is pro pace. That is, and I think that's just probably a 1 lap pace as well. That is particularly quick around here at Imola. He's currently in the pits. Tucker is looking pretty quick in the other McLaren. He's gone off. It looks like a BMW McLaren kind of circuit here. You do have the occasional Porsche there or thereabouts of Fleming Speed 1 and John's as well. But it's definitely looking like a McLaren versus BMW circuit here, as we've got Craig currently going down into the first sector, and I believe yeah, it's surprising because the McLaren looks very low and the splitter looks low, the car looks very grounded and it doesn't look like it take curves well, but around this circuit it seems to ride them pretty well. Most McLarens that I've seen go around here seems to be well adapted, not just in the Pro-Ams but in the Pros. The McLaren does seem a pretty good car around here, and I believe it actually holds the record around this circuit as well on ACC. So yeah, definitely a car that you would want in your arsenal around this circuit. Also, while I have got you guys looking for the Sim Grid and the Discord, while you're at it as well, head down into the description below and have a look at our fantastic sponsors, Design Manchester, Audio Sport and Bozzy Designs. A fantastic group of sponsors who allow us to run these events and give you the best stream that we possibly can. And yeah, if you haven't done so, then head over down to their links and have a look. We've got Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, possibly as well some Simplay merch on there. Also head over to Audio Sport, manufacturer in Volkswagen Transport T4 audio solutions and styling products for your T4, T5s and caddies, I believe they're looking into, and all sorts of other wonderful things as well. And finally, Bozzy Designs, producers of all graphical needs such as logos, overlays and much more. So please have a look at all of those guys and see what they do, follow their social medias, all that wonderful stuff, and yeah, just support our sponsors as much as we support them as well. And guys, if you do want to be a sponsor for the channel, then please feel free to contact any of the admin team on the Discord, or like I said, speak to myself or Matthew Duffin or Mike Matthews, and we can sort out sponsorship for the league as well, because every little bit does help. And yeah, keep up to date on what's happening here at Simply Motorsport. Keep an eye on the social medias. Let's see your streams as well. Feel free to drop them in the Discord so we can see everyone's perspective of these races. And yeah, feel free to tag us in all your social medias as well. If you've got any clips from the race, images, anything like that, then feel free to tag Simplay Motorsport and we'll get them on the Instagram page. We're currently on board with Michelle, who's going down the main straight, and he's got an Aston right behind him of MB Pitts, of the two Xbox runners at the minute. And as you can see on the side of the graphics, myself owns a PlayStation, so you obviously see the PlayStation logo, but if you see the Globe logo, that is obviously Xbox as well. I believe ACC is only planning to use Xbox and PlayStation as crossplays. I don't think they have any intention of using PCs, so it is all primarily consoles. As we all start to get these last few laps in, we've got 25 cars in. We are missing a driver. I'm not sure who we're missing. We'll figure that out later on. But like I said, it is still with the McLaren, who is fastest of Nova. And are we excited for Imola tonight? It is going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. Let's actually have a look. Let's get a poll together. We'll have a race 1 winner based on the reverse grid. And like I said, guys, let's hear from you in the chat. Feel free to ask me any questions whatsoever. I will try my very best with my very, very poor knowledge of GTs to answer them as best I can. So we'll get a couple of... let's get a poll going, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's love a poll. Love to see you guys' opinions and what you think here at the channel. The Ferrari looks particularly good around here as well, with Michelle and Dean looking pretty quick and just outside the top 10 at the minute. So Michelle might be someone to keep an eye on later on. I believe, is it Peterson's that we're missing? Yes, it is. Peterson currently not here at the minute, so we'll go to the next one, which will be Craig. And Craig looking very good in his McLaren, starting near the front. He'll be in P4 if Peterson's doesn't turn up. And start the poll. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear what you think. And obviously, if you don't agree with any of the drivers there, then feel free to write your opinion on who you think will be the one to beat in race 1. That said, 22 watching. Let's get this stream at least to 20 likes here tonight, as the Proams will start the night off. And here comes Nova. 20 seconds still left on the clock. And does he improve? No improvement for him there. Is anybody on a valid lap at the minute? Yes, they are. The number 720, that is MB Pitts, who will be starting on pole position. And already we got a vote for Richie in the chat. Do we like him, ladies and gentlemen? Do we like this circuit? It's definitely one of my all-time favourites, but let's hear from you guys and think what you think of this track. Or really hitting the curb there, the Aston Martin, you can hear it rubbing against the side. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. I haven't heard anyone say that I'm not being able to be heard, but I guess I am being able to be heard. But MVP is currently on a lap time. I believe it's still valid. So we head down into the final few corners. Into Ravazza he goes, and just a little bit too much curb on the exit there, but it's still relatively stable. The Aston Martin's very good at staying stable over the curbs. A very good car in general. And towards the line, MB Pitts, any improvement? No, he does not improve. The number 3, that I believe is Max Mulder. He's not got a lap time on the board. This will be his lap time. Towards the line, Max Mulder comes in the McLaren. And it's only P12, so Mulder got quite a bit of time to find by the looks of things. And he's next to his old friend Matt Duffin. Oh, I love getting these two mixed up. Max, Matt, very easy to mistaken them. Max Mulder, Matt Mulder. Yeah, very, very easy for myself to mix those two up. But Max looking very planted here. Going through Villeneuve, he looks a lot better through there. Just needs to find that 2.4 seconds that he needs to get on Nova's pace, who's, like I said, currently setting the lap times alive. But we now go into the sprint race. A reminder of the format here tonight It is 2 races only tonight. We've got the sprint race, which is obviously based on the reverse championship order. And what I love about ACC, and especially with the servers that we have, is that it can set it up so that we can just get all the drivers in the correct order. Monkey Boy, nice to see you in the chat, buddy. And I hope you're looking forward to racing at Imola tomorrow night. Yeah, it's great for we can get everybody into the correct order. No one has to mess around trying to get into the right slots, and we can get racing. Right, don't forget, guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this first race. Majority of you so far, only 2 votes are going the way of Richie. There's 26 of you watching. If you don't agree with the people I've picked, then feel free to write their name in the chat, and I will keep a tally on who we think. Good luck all, says Gary in the chat. 30 seconds to get their last few adjustments and changes done to the car. They've had a whole 2 weeks to get prepped and ready for the sprint race here. Reminder as well, it's a 20-minute race. I was going through the schedule, but I got sidetracked. 20-minute race from lights to flag. They do have a pit window. They don't have any requirements to do in the pit window. They don't have to add fuel. They don't have to add tyres. They've literally just got to come in the pits, stop, and go. It is up to them if they want to run lower fuel or run a bit of tyre wear, whatever they want to do. The circuit might actually start to affect tyre wear, but obviously not in the sprint race. But when we go to the feature race, the tyre wear might then start to have an effect. Josa has not moved at all. There we go, he's finally moved. I thought the game was giving him an issue. Monkey Boy, yes, very much so. Looking forward to Imola. Circuit League tends to do quite well on here, Monkey Boy, if I remember correctly. So Circuit League's, I believe when you did the PS5 League, you came in a Porsche and did quite well. I bet you're kind of wishing you had the Porsche. So, quick reminder of the grid order, and obviously the feature race, guys, is a 45-minute race, and that's where the tyre wear might start to affect these cars. So it's MB Pierce who's on pole position with Jose in second place. It is then going to be Richie in the Ferrari in P3, Craig in the first of the McLarens in P4. Winter in the BMW will start in P5, Fat Bloke in P6, with Johns in P7. Dean Wasaki down in 8th place with Andrews in 9th. Playman in 10th place position with Michelle in 11th. 12th is Tucker, and 13th place is Raiden. Right behind him is his teammate Micro Jays. Nikita starting in 15th place position with Gray in 16th. Dean will start 17th with Fernie in 18th place position. Then it's Davis in 19th place with DJ Phil in that 20th place position. Then it's Mulder. Then it's Nova, and then we're into the top end of the championship. Goudet, third in the championship, will start 23rd. 24th, second in the championship, is Flem Speed 1. And at the back of the pack, your championship leader, Matt Duffin. What can he do from the back of the pack? It is a very difficult circuit to overtake. It is all about patience. It is all about being focused and try not to make too many mistakes as all these guys try and get their tyres, brakes and pressures all in the correct temperature and optimal setups ready for the start of this race. But it is Aston Martin and a Porsche on the front row. Guys, smash that like button. Let's see all of you guys hitting this like button here at Simply Motorsport. Every like, every subscribe helps us out massively on the channel so that we can give you guys the best GT racing we possibly can on the ACC platform on PlayStation and Xbox. Round 4 of the championship. The Autodrome Enzo e Dino Ferrari Imola hosts the 4th round of the season. Sprint and feature coming your way. It was a German domination last time out at the Nürburgring with Flem Speed 1 and Storsted both taking race wins. Are we going to get a new race winner tonight? Are we going to see a repeat winner? Let's see who you guys are voting for in the chat, in the poll. And let's go racing here at Imola, probably the second famous Italian circuit. As they all line up 2 by 2, and what a sight it is. Aston Martin versus Porsche. MB Pitts versus Josta. And they all line themselves up as they come down the main straight. Who is going to get the best jump? We now wait for the call and the green flag. And we are agreed here at Imola, and what a start for the Aston Martin driver. A little bit bogged down for some of the guys in the mid-pack, but we all head up towards Tosa, and there's already a Ferrari in the wall, and there's multiple cars gone off already. Andrews, I believe, is one of them that's caught up in the incidences as we head up towards turn 1, and they all try and negotiate through Tamburello. There's all sorts of cars all over the shot as we stay on board with Micro JC. What's going on? The Ferrari is still off circuit in the background. I believe that was Richie. Is it Richie? Yes, it is. He's had major damage, as is Josa, who now leads out of Villeneuve into Tosa. And right now, the Porsche driver leading the way, and Johns has been hit. He's been spun around. Can he stay out of trouble? MB Pitts has gone down the inside. He's got to wait for all the cars to go back. Matt's been pushed off track as well, as they all managed to funnel their way through, and Johns gets going, but Winters has come to a stop as well. What has happened to Winter? Is he waiting for Johns? Yes, he is. So obviously Winters had some form of contact with Johns, but it's Josa who leads the way from Craig, from Fat Bloke, from Michelle, from Tucker, from Playman, from Gray, Mulder, Micro J's, and Davis is your top 10. And the great start for those guys as Josa goes into the horrible tight chicane with the McLaren and the Mercedes driver hot on his heels. Who else has benefited from this one? Flemspeed once had a fantastic start. He's looking to make a move on Dean, as Goude's also made a good start. He's got past his teammate, but Matt Duffin is right behind him. He's got Wasaki, his teammate, right behind him as well. They'll want to stick with the Bandits, boys. That is Nikita, I think. Yes, it is Nikita off on the chicane, but Matt's down the inside of Flemspeed 1. He's looking to go down the inside towards the left hands there. And Matt is through. Oh, as Dean makes contact, and Leon Fernie as well. So there's cars everywhere. Oh, there's DJ Phil. That's Playman. Multiple cars off. And yeah, as they all try and funnel their way through Rivatsa, and they're all going for the pits. Matt and Flemspeed 1 come together. What on earth is going on here? They're all coming into the pits with damage, and the pit window isn't even open. Josa leads from Craig, from Fat Bloke, from Michelle, from Tucker, Max Mulder, and then it is Davis as well. Jay's gone off. But what a start for Josa. Is exactly what he needed. Craig and Fat Bloke have gone with him. And Michelle currently sitting in P4, Tucker P5. He's looking to make a move down the inside of Michelle. These guys have checked out and long gone into the distance. And Max Mulder just coming through as Davis has got Nova behind him. Nova's had a fantastic start. And we can see that MB Pitts has got damage to the front of his Aston Martin. There's a massive train behind him, and the pit window has now opened. So the guys in the pits will have to pit again. And what a shame for those guys. You can see Flemsby one's got some major damage to his car, as has DJ Phil, I believe, as well. So a few of these guys walking wounded at the minute, but it is still Josa, from Craig, from Fat Bloke, from Tucker, from Michelle, from Max Mulder, and it looks like Craig is trying to put some pressure, but it's Fat Bloke who's also got the fastest lap of the race so far, looking to pressurise the top 2. Let's go back to this chaos behind, and it's Matt Duffin and Goude managing to escape the clutches of this squabble behind, and it looks like Flemspeed 1 looking at the inside of the chicane on Dean, but Dean manages to close him off. DJ fell down the inside of Nikita and manages to get away with it. Now Johns is going to look to try and undercut, but can't quite get the job done. He's got rear end damage as they come down the main straight. Josa pulling away from Craig. Here comes Fat Bloke. The Mercedes grunt going down the main straight. He looks to the inside. Has already got enough of an overlap, and that should be easy enough going into Tamburello, but we can see a Lamborghini coming out to the pits. Craig got nowhere to go. Playman, wrong place, wrong time, but he opts to go straight on, and a good job he done that because he's getting out of the way of the drivers. And Tucker's now onto the back of these guys as Davis straight away. Nova's in. The 32's got a drive through. Flemspeed 1 also in. So these guys using the opportunity to get into the pits, but Josa leaves. Where is Craig? So Craig's lost out to Fat Bloke, but the 2 team FBR racing lads leading the way. Right now, they don't want to be holding each other on. I'm going to be using the clean air now to try and pull away. It is these guys versus the team Merlot McLaren boys of Craig and Tucker right behind them. One of the only few drivers to actually go the same car, same team, same lineup. And right now, Josa want to defend that position as much as possible. Nova's gone green, so is Kelly, and both of them have come out the pits. They've got clean air now, so they'll be able to use that, and they won't need to pit. Well, these guys are all squabbling. We come down to the chicane. Porsche, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari. Michelle just hanging in there, not quite on it, but Tucker's now caught up into this squabble. Duffin and Goude having their own little scrap at the minute. But we go back to your top four, who's very, very close. And it is Joseph leading the way from Fat Bloke, Craig from Tucker. It looks like Fat Bloke has got the overall pace at the minute in that Mercedes-Benz. Is he going to choose to pit and get out of the dirty air of his teammate? No. The top 5 all opt to stay out, as does Mulder. And he will be using that clean air as well. So Max Mulder, obviously not a lot of practice during the practice session, but he looks like he's in a decent position at this stage. Anyone else opting to pit on this lap? We go down to Dean. Look at this squabble. Johns has managed to clear most of this. Dean Wasocki straight back into the pits. We got Johns, Dean, MB Pits, and Winter, Nikita all in the scrap, and Winter has opted to pit. He wants to get out of the squabble, but Matt sets a purple lap. He is fastest at the minute in some clean air. And like I said, right now, Joseph at the minute is the cork in the bowl. He's the one holding these 4 up. And like I said, it's not the easiest place to overtake. Michelle looks like he's had a little bit of a moment there, and that's allowing Mulder just to start close in him in. But Joseph still ahead of the kind of team rivalry here. It's Team FBR versus Murloc. So Raiden's pitted, Winters has pitted, Davis has cleared most of these cars. Davis is now the leading pitter, and Nova can't seem to find a way past at the minute on Davis. Well, while these all guys are scrapping, the pitters are using their clean air right now. The problem that Tucker and Craig have in there, they're too busy racing each other, and they can't really start pressurizing the FBR boys. As now Leon Fernie sets fastest lap of the race. Oh, looks like the Porsche driver just a little bit slow on exit. And will the McLarens decide to split their strategy? No, they're sticking with it. Max Mulder as well has now started to catch Michelle. As Matt is also not a million miles away. He's got Goudet trying to hunt him down. And everywhere else has just seemed to calm down. Oh, Nikita's looking to make a move on MB Pitts as they head down towards the far end of the circuit. Tibbs doesn't practice at all. P6 in 1 lap. That's a fair play, Tibbs. As Duffin and Goudet have both come in. This should be interesting now. The leaders are starting to pit, and I believe this is where we'll find out how much of the option Davis chose. As Davis going side by side with Nova and thinking, better, you know what, go for a Nova, go through, or we just missed the scrap anyway going into the chicane. But Nova goes ahead of Kelly Davis, and Goudet has already gone green. Duffin's gone green, so it's going to be interesting. It's a long pit lane. Nova and Davis are going out. Davis trying to get a good exit out of the final corner. And while these two are scrapping, this is going to allow Duffin and Goudet to go green. And Matt has gone green. And there you can see he's exited the pits. And Davis and Nova jump Goudet, but not quite on the back of Matt. We go back to the leaders. Joester still leads from Fat Bloke, from Tucker, from Craig, and Max Mulder has cleared Michelle, so he is now up at the 5th place position and now looks to try and hunt the leaders down. John's using the clean air while he possibly can to try and jump other cars. Leon Fernie, though, I believe has pitted but not done his pit stop, so he'll have to come in and do his required pit stop. But you can see the two teammates right now too busy tripping over one another. This is Joester and Fat Bloke. And Craig has actually lost the position to Tucker, and Joester comes into the pits. Will Craig choose to come in? No. So still, Fat Bloke is now under some pressure from the McLaren driver of Tucker. Down towards Tamburello, there you go. MB Pitts has come into the pits, and he's got a queue behind him once again. Again, Leon Fernie, fastest lap of the race so far. Davis trying to stick with Nova and Duffin. So a good little scrap here for Davis and Nova. See if they can... Oh, it's Matt... Davis... Kelly Davis just missed the chicane as Joester has gone green in his pits. Dean Wasoki's back into the pits again. And Tucker's still trying to pressurise Fat Bloke at the minute, but no can do so far. Max Mulder just doing a little bit of time to Michelle and sticking to the back of him. But let's go back to this MB Pitts fight with DJ Phil, with Dean in that fight as well. But Dean's got ahead of Winters, and he's also got Raiden on the back of him as well. So this is a great little scrap for the 14th, 15th and 16th place position. Flem Speed 1, meanwhile, it's just a little bit off the guys in front of him. where he really wants to be. As Fat Bloke, I think, looking like he was going to defend the inside from Tucker. Tucker not quite close enough. We are halfway through the race, and I'm going to end that pole right there. And Fat Bloke still hanging in there to the lead of this race. Craig in third, Mulder fourth, Michelle fifth, Johns in sixth, and Joester has stayed ahead of Duffin. Andrews, look, though, is just in the way ever so slightly there as Joester goes wide, so he's in the traffic now. Matthew Duffin, though, isn't going to get onto the top end of the circuit, I don't think, top end of the podium, as Fat Bloke comes in. So now it's a McLaren 1-2 for the Team Merlot boys. Michelle carrying on through as well. Does Johns choose to pit now? He's carrying on through, Ginger Bush, as he's known as on the PS4 League. And good evening, Sutty Apex. Nikita obviously sticking out as well. Fat Bloke's stop was very quick. Mulder's come in as well. So Matt, Fat Bloke and Mulder have got their pit stops done. Where is this going to bring Matt and Nova in all this? Where is Joester? He is now in the final couple of corners. He's in the final corner. Fat Bloke is now coming to the end of the pit lane. This is going to be tight. Obviously, Joester's had to clear traffic, and Fat Bloke's gone. No, Joester's nowhere near this lot. There goes Fat Bloke in the distance. And will Max Mulder... No. Where's Duffin? There he is. And my worst fears has come true. It's Max Mulder versus Matt Duffin. So I'm probably going to get them mixed up, and Matt's going to kill me. Great. As we go back to the MB Pits fight, still three cars fighting for this one. Dean's actually lost out a little bit here, and also has Raiden as well. So DJ Phil and Winters going at it for the 15th and 16th place position. And here comes Winters to the outside. He's going to get the job done towards Tamburello. He's going to break a lot later, and he's got the job done around the outside. And MB Pitts has got straight on at Tamburello. And DJ Phil looks like he's really struggling with the Lamborghini at this stage. So Fat Bloke out of the pits. He got quite a gap over Joester. So Fat Bloke looking very good for a race win at the minute. Going to be a new race winner as well. Matt is now hunting down Max with Nova hot on their heels, and I'm pretty sure Davis will be sitting there. Kelly Davis will be waiting to see what happens between them. But track limits is something these guys have got to keep an eye on. I don't know what limits they're already on, but they definitely have to keep an eye on it. Tucker, meanwhile, is continued on, has Craig and Michelle. Nikita, though, has opted to pit. So the top four still yet to pit. And Richie has not confirmed his pit stop. Leon Fernie has done his now. And they have to pit within that pit window. If they don't do it, they will get a penalty. And ever since the pit stops, Matt has been trying to hunt down Max Mulder. They're trying to put a lap on Andrews as Nikita's come in and has dropped. And away he goes. Max Mulder, Nova, and Matt Duffin all going at it. Davis not a million miles away. He's got Goudet hunting him down. Flem Speed 1 currently 13th. Probably not the race he wanted. Carrying damage by the looks of things as well on the rear. And Nikita is going to go green. And where's his next fight? It's MB Pitts, who's not really anywhere near him. Excuse me. But it is Tucker is your race leader at this stage. Craig in second and Michelle in third. When does Tucker choose to pit, though? Because he's got to get in and cover off Fat Bloke. And he's now opting to pit to make sure he gets it stopped before the line, and he's well early, actually. He's very, very early as Craig comes in as well. The two teammates coming in together. Will Michelle follow? No. So Michelle is going to lead this race. Going down the main straight towards Tamburello. Let's look elsewhere. Max Mulder is under some pressure from Matt Duffin. And that's going to allow Nova to get onto the back of him as well. It probably didn't help that Andrews was in the middle of that as Matt comes into the chicane. The BMW able to take the curbs a little bit more than the McLaren. And Nova had a little bit of a moment there. Tucker has gone green, as has Craig. They're both away. And here comes Fat Bloke. And I think Tucker is going to lose out to Fat Bloke. I think Craig will lose out to Joester. There goes Fat Bloke, and Joester is coming down the main straight now. Where is Tucker? He's gone green, but Joester will stay in front, and it is an Team FBR Racing 1-2. After the pit stops, Tucker and Craig probably left it a little bit too late, and the undercut has worked for the Mercedes and the Porsche driver. Let's go back to Max and Matt. Nova also in this scrap as well, not being able to stick with Matt at this stage. Davis looking quite content probably with the 10th place position. We're still waiting for Michelle and Johns also to make their pit stops as well. So I believe Kelly could possibly make another 2 places yet after the pit stops are all done. 24.5 minutes left. They've got to get in the pits within the pit window. So really, Michelle and Johns have to get in and now. But it is Fat Bloke is your net leader and pulled away from Joester as well. Tucker, P5, P6 is Craig. He's just struggling for pace at the minute, it seems, Craig, compared to Tucker. And he's now being reeled in by Max Mulder and Matthew Duffin, with also Nova not too far behind. Goudet starting to bring the gap down to Kelly Davis as Michelle comes in, as does Johns, and get it stopped for the line. Winters has made a move on MB Pitts. He's moved up a position as well, so he's on the move, and it's going to be Goudet versus Davis in a short moment's time. He's currently trying to clear traffic of Dean Masaki and Andrews, and I believe they're actually fighting for position. No, I believe they're not. Dean Masaki's down a couple of places. So Michelle's gone green. Fat Bloke's already gone through. Joseph will go through. So will Tucker, and I believe Craig will. So Matt has got past Max Mulder, as has Nova as well. So Nova's got a little bit of front end damage. Where is Michelle? There he is. Johns has gone green as well. So Michelle's going to come in the middle of this scrap. He's gone green. There's Matt. He comes down the main straight towards Tamburello. Through goes Nova. What is going to happen to Max Mulder? He's going to get onto the back of Michelle, but not quite enough, and Michelle stays ahead of Max Mulder. Goudet's got ahead of Kelly Davis. Kelly Davis has made a mistake and lost out to Flemsby 1. He does gain a position on Johns though, and Flem's gone deep, as has Kelly. So both of them struggling through Tamburello. As I believe everybody has done their pit stops now, including Richie, so everybody's pit stops are done and dusted. Dean is now starting to put pressure on the back of DJ Phil as they head up towards Tamburello, and MB Pitts is actually coming back at Winters just ahead. Dean's going to send it down the inside of Tamburello, not quite far enough, and stays ahead. So this is an interesting scrap. It was Kelly David versus Goudet, and now it's these two versus each other. Teammates battling out in these different positions. But his Fat Bloke leads the way as the pit window closes. Tucker right on the back of the Porsche driver. So Fat Bloke using the clean air to his advantage and leading the way. He has now got to hope that his teammate can hold off the rest of the pack. He's got a 6.1 second gap at the minute, so quite a healthy lead, as Tucker looks like he's got a little bit of an overlap, but not quite enough, not brave enough into the final few corners, and has to sit in behind him as Joseph goes wide, and that's it. The McLaren driver, Tucker, goes through and into the top two he goes. Craig nowhere near the leaders at the minute. Matthew Duffin though is now bringing the gap down to Craig. He's bringing Nova with him, and Michelle and Max Mulder. So this is a great little scrap here with Goudet all on his loose himself at the minute. Flemsby 1 currently 10th. Kelly Davis is having a fight with Johns. Ginger Bush and Kelly Davis going at it. And the Porsche not quite got the straight line advantage. Obviously Johns is using the older Porsche as well. He's not in the 992, he's in the 9912. But he's using the slipstream to his advantage. Can he find a way down the inside? He's going to go for it into Tamburello. Not really much Kelly could do there. He turns in. And Johns loses out there. He's gone round. Nikita is going to not gain an advantage there. So Johns has not lost anything. And I believe Kelly probably just turned in, not seeing that Johns was still there. Joseph still sticking to the back of Tucker. But I don't really see that's going to be a threat. Matt has pulled a gap on Nova and Michelle and Max. Max is really hustling the back of Michelle, whilst Michelle's gone wide. Max looking to go down the inside, possibly not in this sector. It'd be very, very difficult to get it done, possibly into the chicane. He is closer than ever to the back of Michelle, but he needs to get a good exit, a good run. And he's not quite got that. Is he going to look down to the inside of the chicane? He's not close enough. Over the chicane they go. Nova pretty much just bouncing straight over it, and Max Mulder right on the rear wing now of the Ferrari driver of Michelle. He's going to go rounding outside, but Michelle closes the door. Has Michelle gone deep? No. Manages to hang in there. Leaders on their final lap. Someone kicking up the dust just ahead of him. And Michelle trying to break the toe. He knows it's imminent. He knows it's coming. Meanwhile, in the background, Flemspeed 1 has caught Goudet up pretty quickly. But we're watching this scrap. The Ferrari driver goes far left as he possibly can. And Mulder can't find a way through. As Michelle moving from the circuit from side to side. And Mulder can't find a way through. Let's go back to Goudet and Flemspeed 1. That's a close fight at the minute. Johns is coming back at Davis as well. But it's Fat Bloke still leading the way. He's only got half a lap to go. Tucker in second. And it's going to be in all the team FBR and team Merlot top four, as Matt trying to upset the party and catch Craig, but he can't quite do so. And Mulder, I think, has lost his opportunity to get past Michelle. And the rest of the order is just going to be a fight between Dan Johns and Kelly Davis. And Kelly Davis has gone a little bit wide at Villeneuve. Defends the inside for Tosa. And manages to keep the inside hugged right up. But the Porsche driver, Johns, gets a better exit. Kelly pushing him as far over to the left as he dares. And Johns is going to have to try and get it done through the left-hander. And Kelly goes wide. Johns is going to stick it up the inside, but he's going to be on the wrong side going down the hill. But if he's got the overlap, Kelly's going to try and stay there. He has. And he keeps the inside. But we go to this man, Fat Bloke. His first race win here at Simplay Motorsport in the Mercedes-Benz for Team FBR. He wins the sprint race here at Imola. Congratulations to Fat Bloke. A race win to his name. Tucker is going to bring it home for P2 in the McLaren for Team Merlot. Great points. Joester is going to finish on the podium with Craig right behind him in the end. Matthew Duffin is going to have a drag race with Nova to the line, but it's going to be Duffin from Nova. Then it's going to be Michelle. Then it's going to be Max Mulder. Goudet is going to hang in there for P9 with Flemspeed 1 in P10. Johns is not going to get Davis. Davis is going to hang in there for P11. So Davis P11, Johns P12, Nikita 13th, Winters is going to go to 14th, DJ Phil 15th, as Raiden goes down the inside of Dean. This is a great little scrap towards the end, and Dean runs a little bit wide, and Dean going with Raiden, but it's going to be Dean who overdoes it with Raiden. Gray, not the best round for him. Micro J's 19th, MB Pitts 20th, Leon Fernie 21st, Andrews 22nd, Playman 23rd, Wasaki 24th, Richie 25th, and Leon Fernie will also take fastest lap of the race. And that was that. What an exciting race one that was. All sorts of carnage and racing going on. But it was Fat Bloke was your race winner. His first win of the season. Tucker coming home in a second place. Josa in third. And look at the two Team Merlot cars together. Good job from those guys as well. Fantastic first race here at Imola. And like I said, Fat Bloke taking the win from Tucker and from Josa. That is your top three. Fantastic job from these boys. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. We're going to go on a very short break as we will go and get things ready and set up for the feature, and we shall see you guys in a few moments' time.
Green light, go, go, go.
Tough race for everybody. I think you hit me at one stage. I don't know if you were trying to vote someone at the hairpin, but what a shit show. What a shit show. Tables are done.
Oh, thanks, man. That look a bit argy-bargy.
Oh, just so
Similar.
many fucking problems with that, man. Yeah, just
Similar.
I can only
Mate,
assume. when I
you
watch it
walked
back,
away
people
with a
trying to be
fucking
heroes.
point advantage.
I know.
Guess how I'm going to feel tomorrow.
It wasn't the turn one carnage. It was like the sort of like halfway through the lap, people still going off, and then I think I got tapped by John. I think I got hit Flem. Flem was one who just kind of like he fucking goes to go in the pits, but I'm on his outside the final corner, and he goes to pit. And
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
got that.
I'm there. Like
How's my dad?
a little unhappy with
Dan?
Hypertech, I think it was.
Oh,
Dan.
all right.
What?
Johns.
Dan Johns. I don't think he said Dan Johns. He said Nova, and he said Hypertech.
You haven't got a team. What's he called?
What?
Tucker and Craig Murlot on the tables.
Team Merlot.
That's what they're called on the stream. Look at Tucker and Craig.
Fuck is Team
Tucker and Craig.
and Tucker. Independent. And Craig. Who's Craig? B. Craig.
B. Craig.
Are they part of FBR?
No.
No,
They
what
are
I mean
Team
is
Merlot.
the FBR. No, but the FBR is a team outside of this.
Oh,
and they
right.
gave me several different names.
Tucker signed up first, and then Craig came in like week 2. I've been calling them like Team Murlot all this race,
Yeah, but
saying, "Oh, it's going to be
not on-
good points for them," and
Where is Tucker?
he is won the championship.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, I'll be racing the McLaren, not following you guys on some good driving. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, but Evo, hey dude, hope your evening was fab. My teammate Kiwi has just completed his dude. Can we enter him in the next one? If that's the case, I don't think I've been told that one, so Mike must have been told it.
Possibly, but they are a team, so like, I mean, they can be put into the table,
Ginger
surely.
Bush. Yeah. If that's the case, I've just messaged him. If that's the case, I'll do it. Ginger Bush alongside Kelly. He's in front of 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 Kelly. Kelly breaks into Ravat, so John gives him room.
Oh, is he moaning?
He's put a ticket in, yeah.
What, my dad?
He's got no.
Oh.
Ginger Bush put a ticket in on Kelly.
Ah.
I see nothing wrong with this at the minute. Instant with Kelly Davis.
So far,
He's going into Tamborello. He's
Yeah.
fully behind. On the brakes later. Kelly turns in. Yeah, I have to see that from Kelly's perspective.
From what I called from my end, it looked like Dad just turned in on him.
Yeah,
He was
that's, to be
easily
fair,
far
what
enough
it looks
alongside.
like. Yeah.
And we've raced with. I've raced with Ginger Bush, and I've never had issues racing him. He's been very clean and fair.
Craig then.
He's in the McLaren.
Driver's numbers. Yeah, what I'm thinking is his Discord name.
Oh, no idea. 333.
It's Kiwi.
Your fucking chat box is fucking your Twitch.
I don't know how to do it though. That's the thing. I'm not even on OBS. I'm not even on my Streamlabs.
It doesn't matter. Whatever your chat box is set to is obviously your Twitch, not YouTube.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When I've gone on the Streamlabs YouTube one,
Yeah.
there's nothing set for it. So why it's coming up on my Twitch, I don't fucking know.
What's set up on your Streamlabs, your Twitch account?
No, YouTube obviously for tomorrow night, but I've not used my Streamlabs in ages. I don't
Yeah,
tend
no,
to stream
but
my
it doesn't
Streamlabs.
matter. It doesn't matter. Like
No,
on your
what I'm saying is, when
Streamlabs,
I go
like
online, so when I go on the
dashboard.
Streamlabs website and I log in, so when I go on the
Yeah.
Yeah. There is nothing on there. Log in with YouTube. Simplay Motorsport. Continue. Allow. Thank you very much. Fuck it, stop doing this. I did all this the other day. Have that. Right. Got it. Alert boxes. No. Hull widgets. No. There was a thing on here when I found it and I googled it the other week. And it's the Simplay Motorsport YouTube one is not connected to anything.
Yeah, has you ever connected the YouTube channel to Streamlabs?
No, because I always log out to my Twitch and then log into the Simplay one. So it should be logging in as its own.
Yeah, but don't matter. You've set up the chat box as your Twitch. So no matter, but this is already set up with a chat box in it. This layout. So now you put a chat box in it. It's just going to keep bringing your Twitch up.
One?
Yeah, your intermission.
Oh, the intermission one is, yeah, but that's what I mean. It shouldn't be linked to my Gaming Motion one.
I have no idea then. Anyway, get out of my party. You're not in the podium.
Yeah, apologies. No, yeah. Sorry, I only came in to say that. I've done the tables.
Yeah, fuck off.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Green light. Show them what you got.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel, and we are about to get qualifying underway. But before we do so, let's have a quick recap of the championship standings after the sprint race. Obviously, this is a provisional championship order due to obviously penalties possibly later on in the night to be applied, but as it stands after the sprint race, it is Matthew Duffin who still leads the way. He's extended the gap to Flem Speed 1. He's now got a 54-point lead over him as Nova now gets himself into the top 3. Behind him is Goudet in P4, dropping a few places there. Max Mulder isn't far away off the top now. He's in P5 with DJ Phil in P6. Kelly Davis only 2 points behind his teammate in P7. P8 is Dawson and P9 is Dean. Tucker is in P10 with Leon Fernie sitting in P11. Gray in 12th place position. Micro J is in 13th. Michelle 14th. Nikita 15th. Raiden 16th. Fat Bloke is now 17th place position with Playman 18th. 19th is D. Evans. Andrews in 20th, Craig in 21st, Johns in 22nd, Wasaki 23rd, Joester 24th, Allsbrook 25th, Winter 26th, Cranky Duckhead 27th, Richie 28th, Peterson 29th, 30th is MB Pitts, 31st is Finesse, Cranky Warhead, Ducky Warhead 32, ZZI and GT Jimbo all not yet scored a point. Regarding the teams, it is FSO Racing still leading the way, but Greasy Bandits has brought the gap down to 14 points. Jaeger Motorsport sitting in P3 as well. They're only 21 points behind, with Team Audio Sport Remix in P4. P5 is the Bullets Bandits Racing Duo and Iceni Motorsport in P6. P7 is BTC Jaeger Racing. Richie Corsa is in P8. Team FBR is in P9, and in P10 is Red Dragon Racing, independent. And regarding the manufacturers, it's still McLaren, BMW, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Bentley, and Audi and Honda are now officially out of the championship. They cannot win. And it is Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan, and Retia. Out on track at the minute, though, we have got the guy who's currently doing qualifying, and it is going to be Matt, who is the first one to set a lap time. These two having a little bit of race as they came out of the pits, and Matt eager to get out in front of Nova, and he's managed to do so. So he is now leading in the first to do a lap time. And if you haven't done so already, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single bit of racing here at Simplay Motorsport. As Matt now comes down toward the final end of the sector, and we'll get a poll out on who you think is going to take pole position here tonight. But Matt is going to be the first one to set a lap time. And what a first win for Fat Bloke. He gets himself a good chunk of points. Towards the line, Duffin comes, and a 43.5 is the benchmark. Nova not setting a lap time at that stage. So we'll see how the rest of the guys get on. MB Pitts coming towards the line now in the Aston Martin. Craig now goes P2. And now Flem Speed 1 goes fastest of them all. And MB Pitts crosses the line. He only goes into P4. And a few other guys currently on a lap. Nova has to try and nail the lap this time. We've got Playman coming into the final sector. A lot of people not going green at the minute. They're all struggling to get a lap time. You see Wasaki in the background hanging that BMW sideways. And there, guys, there's a poll on who you think is going to take pole position. But here comes Playman. Josa goes into P4. Playman didn't get a lap time on the board. We've got a few more guys coming to the line. We've got the 80. I believe that's 80. No, 93? Yeah, 93. Michelle, he goes into P6. Then it was Nikita. Johns is just behind them as well. So here comes John. Nikita goes P4. And Johns to the line. It's going to be Gray as well on a lap time. Johns goes P4. Gray now to the line. And he goes fastest of them all. So Gray now setting the pace into BMW. What can he do with the clean air? We got the 53 coming to the line. That is DJ Phil to put a lap time on the board, and he goes in 10th place position. Kelly Davis into the final sector, who I said Nova's gone fastest of them all, 40.19. There you go, boys, that's the benchmark. Off you go, try and get near it. As Davis is currently on an invalid lap time. Flem Speed is on another one. So what can he do? Can he improve on his lap time? No improvement. The number 8 Mercedes of Goudet. Towards the line he comes. 100% of you reckon so far that Nova's going to take pole position. Here comes Goudet. Shortest run to the line, and it's only P10 for him. Now we've got a whole bunch of cars now coming to the line. Andrews is not one of them. But the 56 of Winters, he goes P12. And that's Leon Fernie. He goes P4 as well. So a good lap time there from Leon Fernie. And we've got a few of the guys now coming back, circling around the circuit. Tucker at the minute, I haven't seen him do a lap time. He's currently out on track, so he should be able to get a lap time in anytime soon. The 666 of Gray is now exiting the final corner. So any improvement from this man? Can he get within 8/10 of Nova? Or is that McLaren just well and truly hooked up around this circuit? Towards the line now, Gray, any improvement? No, he stays where he is for the meantime, which isn't the worst place in the world. A lot of guys invalidating their lap times. The number 7 of Richie hasn't, so he will go on board with him. And he's struggling with keeping the car under control. The 22 of Davis still hasn't put a lap time on the board. But he is on a clean one at the minute. Where's this going to put him? Can he get himself up into the top 10? As Davis now comes towards the line, he's got a few of the cars behind him. He's got Flem Speed 1 and Andrews behind him. Davis to the line. Any improvement, or can he put a lap time on the board? He can, and it's just outside the top 10. He goes 11th. Andrews goes in 18th as Flem Speed 1 does not improve. He's stuck in a little bit of traffic at this stage. Nikita, though, I believe is on a lap time. No, it's an invalid lap time. So it's going to be Richie who's on a lap time. That puts him 15th. A good time for him on the board. Who is this now coming to the line? I believe it's the 18th of Playman. It is. Currently 17th at the minute in the old Lamborghini towards the line. He does find time, but doesn't improve on positions. We are now starting to get the last of the good lap times here. A couple of guys look like they're tripping over each other in the final set there. That is Johns, who's stuck behind Dean. Dean, I don't think, has got a valid lap time yet. And he doesn't. Johns improves. And Dean still needs to put a lap time on the board. And now the 53 of DJ Phil, I believe, is in the final sector. Yes, he is. There he is. And he's just ahead of Matthew Duffin, I believe. Yeah, there is Matt in the background. Can Matt improve on 6th place position with that fully restricted car? DJ Phil improves and goes ahead of his teammate. Here comes Matthew Duffin. Any improvement? No improvement. And straight to the pits he goes. Looks like Davis on another lap. Andrews has still been holding up Flem Speed 1 by the scenes, and Flem Speed 1 opting to pit. Davis with a clean run. Can he go any faster? No improvement there for Davis. The number 8. That, I believe, is Goudet. Probably a little bit disappointed in 13th place position at the minute. He'll want to get himself higher up that grid order towards the line. He comes, the Mercedes driver. Any improvement? No improvement. Stays where he is. So everyone seems to be hitting their wall of talent. I believe that was the 97 Joester. He's still in 8th place position. We go back to the 18 once again. Our Playman, any improvement? 3,000 of a second to get ahead of MB Pitts, and he finds that and goes up into 16th. A lot of these guys just struggling now just to get that lap together. Nova's lap time, though, was a spectacular 41.9. Not his fastest. He's done a 41.7 in practice. But like they do in Formula 1, they need to build up to that pace. They need to slowly work bit by bit. They go through the race, they go through qualifying, and then back to the race again. Somebody there across the line, that was P3. That was Max Mulder. He gets himself into 8th place position. Gray, though, towards the line now. Any improvement? 8 tenths to find. He finds a 10th, but still quite a margin. And it looks like Davis is back on another lap. We'll see how he gets on. It's the 32 we're looking at. That is Wasaki coming to the line. Any improvement? He does. He goes 17th place position. Not sure who was that behind him. I believe it was a BMW driver. Oh no, it was Fat Bloke in P5. He makes an improvement. Davis to the line. No improvement for him. 57. Who is the 57? That is Andrews. And no improvement, stays 21st. A lot of these guys now are finding little bits of improvement here and there. Here we go. We got Joester and Tucker. Tucker, I still don't think has a lap time on the board. No, he doesn't. So Tucker really pushing the limits here towards the start finish line. Is this a final lap time? Yes, it is. But it's only 14th. Only 14th with the pace he was showing earlier on. He needs to find a bit more time. And obviously it looked like he had a bit of traffic hold him up, and he's just messed up the first corner, so that's not going to help him out. The 56. I can't even see where the 56 is. Is it 56? Yes, there's the 56. That was Winter. 16th place position for him. P3, the number 3, Max Mulder, on a lap time. Towards the start-finish line, he comes. And he goes P3 within a second of Nova. And that McLaren looking very good around here. But at the minute, it is Gray who's splitting them at this stage. And he comes to the line, and obviously that was an invalid lap time. The 88 of Nikita wasn't the car I was looking for. Is it the 555? Yes, it is, of Fat Bloke in his Mercedes, fat Mercedes. And towards the start-finish line he comes. And what is this going to be? Is it going to be an improvement? No, it's not. He stays 7th. There's a whole train of cars, and I look like they're all stuck behind the 57 of Andrews. Look at these gaggle of cars all trying to find some space. Matt's in there, Leon Fernie's in there, John's in there, and Goudet. So all these cars on a lap time. I think Goudet's the only one on a lap time. Andrews, any improvement? No, stays where he is. Where is Goudet? Right down in 17th at the minute. Towards the line he comes. And he gets himself up into the top 10 in 8th place position. That's what he needed to get himself in at that gaggle of cars. The 721 Flem Speed 1 currently on a lap time into the final sector. He comes. So we come to the end of qualifying. The majority gone for Nova. And it looks like Nova's lap time is going to stick. It's a very good lap time. I don't even think Nova's even bothered to come back out. I know he stayed in the pits, but it's Flem Speed 1, 2 with the line. It's all well and good being fastest, but can he keep that up in the race? Flem Speed 1, no improvement. So this is really clutching at straws here. Max Mulder's had a moment with a Ferrari, and Ian Gray is done. No improvement for him. Nikita goes into P3. He's done by the list of things. Max Mulder will get another lap. But we got the 5-5-5 of Fat Bloke on down to P9. He needs to find some speed now. He will get one more lap in, as will a few others. I believe Davis is on a valid lap, coming into the final end of his lap. He's following his teammate by the looks of things. Or is that Leon Fernie? I think it might be Leon Fernie. Fat Bloke, any improvement? He goes P6. So improvement there for him. Leon, nope, it's not Leon. I believe it might have been Davis. It is Davis. To the line he comes. He's currently 16th. 2 tenths to find on his teammate. Any improvement? No. So it's going to be Kelly Davis's last attempt. Johns to the line, 11th at the minute. He is on a valid lap time. And still no improvement in the old Porsche. So everyone now on their last laps, whoever's the 38 is going to be cutting it close to the line. Who is the 38? That is Dean. He's not managed to get a lap time, and he's not going to get a lap time at all. He's done. Qualifying is done for him. So it is down to the rest of the guys on track, and it's the 56, the first to complete a lap time. There's a couple of cars off. The number 7, that is Richie at Villeneuve, so it might put a couple of guys off, but Winters to the line. Any improvement for him? We go to the 2, the 7-2. Nope, he doesn't improve. The 7-2-1. That is Flem Speed 1. No improvement. Matt is in this gaggle of cars. And who was that that's gone faster? I believe Tucker. He gets himself in the top 8, but it's not quite enough to really upset the top end of the circuit. There's one driver on their own. That is Michelle. 14th at the minute. And he goes up another place, 13th. I believe Matt is now the only... nope, the 53. That is DJ Phil on his own. Kelly Davis is back into the pits. A lot of these guys say they're still on track, but they're not. They're actually in the pit lane. DJ Phil to the line. I said there's a whole gaggle of cars together, which ain't helping him out. DJ Phil, no improvement. Johns, and then believe Duffin is right behind. As Leon Fernie, Duffin and Johns all together. Matt is done. He ain't going to improve on 7th. Johns to the line. 1.5 off the pace. He improves, goes to 9th. Leon Fernie just beats him to it. And that is it for qualifying. I think that is everybody done. It is. I don't know why this has suddenly decided to poo itself. And we are now stuck on this view. Lovely. There we go. Excuse me. So it's Nova on pole position once again here at Imola, and I see Tracy in the chat. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as we are about to get race 2 underway. The feature race, 45-minute long race, and a pit window must be applied as well. No tyre change rule is necessary, no fuel either. It's just come in and stop, and we will get a poll going for you guys so you can vote on who you think is going to win this one. So like I said, it was going to be a McLaren and BMW fight. As you can see, it is mainly McLaren's and BMW's two at the front. So I might need to get my drink ready for this one because I think this one is going to be action-packed. I think this is the first time I'm going to be adding Nikita into the prediction. But some really strong drivers to the front of the grid. There you go, guys. You can now vote on who you think is going to be your race winner for the feature race. And like I said, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell in the if you're watching on the computer in the top right corner, so that you always get notifications from the guys streaming here. And if you haven't done so already, scroll down and have a look in the description of our fantastic sponsors. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts and mugs and printed clothing and much, much more. Audio Sport, manufacturers of Volkswagen Transporters T4 audio solutions and styling products. And also Bozzy Designs, producers of all graphics needed, such as logos, overlays, and much, much more. Please, guys, hit that like button and hit the bell to be notified. If he stays out of trouble, Nova should win comfortably, says Gray in the chat. Very much so, I would agree. If it's all relatively clean in the first couple of laps for him and he manages to get away, it's just Nova who can really stop himself. But these curbs are lethal. They do catch people out. So we'll see how we get on. We'll see the BMWs. They should be a lot better through the curbs. So we'll see how they pressurize. But also Fat Block also looks very, very good in his Mercedes-Benz. Tips in the chat saying, let's go Max. Verstappen or Mulder? Super Max. Max, Super Max. If you don't think, obviously, any of the drivers that I put in the poll you think is going to win this race, then please put your vote on who you think will win it. But another run through. Nova takes a point for pole position. And it's Nova who leads them away. Gray will start alongside him. McLaren versus BMW. Nikita in third with Max Mulder in fourth. And McLaren BMW squabble at the front. Craig is P5. Fat Bloke in P6. Duff in P7. Tucker P8. P9 is Fernie. P10 is Johns. Goudet is P11 with Flem Speed 1 in 12th. And Michelle in 13th. Josa in 14th. DJ Phil in 15th. Davis 16th. Winter 17th. 18th is Richie. 19th is MB Pitts. Wasocki 20th. Playman 21st. Andrews 22nd. Chase 23rd. Raiden 24th. Dean not settled out time and he will start 25th position. Reminder as well, guys, tomorrow night it is the pros' turn to hit the Imola circuit. Let's see how they get on, as the reverse grid will be set for that one. And I believe it is Jay Ward, H Coaster, Loser, Graham, the Hoffner's there. We got Sam, we got Gary, Carbel, Taylor, Paulo, Luke, Alex, Clouden, Fernie, Joe, Gary Leach, Mike Matthews, Overtaken Nash, Davis, Global Writer is a new one, and Goni is another new driver as well. So see how all these boys get on. Simplay Racing leading away in the constructors as well. So we'll see how the pros get on. And for these guys, they'll be getting themselves ready for the next round of the championship, which if I get Discord up, I can find out what it is that is next. After Imola, you thought it's hard to pass around here. We go back to British soil. It is Alton Park. But we now wait for the command and get things underway here for the final race tonight here at Imola. Nova versus Gray. Who's going to come out on top?
Green light, go.
And we are green here, and Gray has jumped the start. He has got a drive-through penalty straight away, which he has to serve in 3 laps' time. So Nova, oh, as I see a car off already. There's multiple cars involved. Multiple cars. Oh, my Lord. Leon Fernie, I believe, is possibly one of John's, Richie, Jay's, Dean. There's all sorts of cars everywhere. As there's another car off. I believe that is Craig. I don't know who's where or what, but it's Nova from Gray from yeah, I'm gonna wait for the splits to sort themselves out, but I actually don't know where. Nikita's had a moment, he's gone round. Yeah, he's dropped a position or two, and a few cars will probably got a little bit of damage, but what on earth happened there? But it's Nova from Gray, from Max Mulder, who with a decent start. Matthew Duff in 4th. Craig is now in 5th once they update, and so is Tucker, Fat Bloke, Flem Speed 1. Then it's Gude, Davis, Nikita, Andrews had a decent start, but then there's Fernie, Richie, Michelle, Winters. All these cars look like they've been involved in the incident at the start of the race. Jaspers as well, MB Pitts, all these cars clean up in aisle 4. Oh, Max Mulder's at a moment. So he drops down the order. So it's Nova from Gray, from Duffin now. Duffin's gone deep. And he doesn't want to keep doing that too much because Craig isn't a million miles away. But it is Nova. Gray, if I was him and seeing all the chaos that's in the stream, I'll be getting into the pit straight away. And he is indeed just in the wrong place. But it is Nova now leading ahead of Matthew Duffin, keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble. And he's up into the top 2. Craig in 3rd, and Tucker and Fat Bloke all looking for a good points. Flem Speed 1 has got a clean car this time, so can he attack? Gude, Davis and Nikita are your top 10 with Andrews rounding that off. But honestly, what has happened there? There's cars with damage. Leon Fernie's off again. Richie's off. There's more cars off down here. Jasper's car, Joester can't seem to get into the pits. Oh, look at all these cars, all struggling to get in the pit lane. Major damage. We go back to the leaders anyway. So Tucker is now behind Craig once again, but they got Fat Bloke right behind him. Davis is under some pressure from Nikita as Mulder looks to try and recover his race. But it's Nova who leads the way with quite a healthy lead. Duffin in 2nd. Someone's gone fastest overall. No one has. Actually, Nova has lost his fastest lap. As we now see the 2 Murloc cars going up towards the chicane, and Fat Bloke is right behind them as Flem Speed 1 is looking to try and gain some time back on them, but he misses the chicane. Gude is there as Nikita tries to go around the outside of Davis. That ain't going to work there as Max Mulder has got through Andrews at the same chicane. Michelle is ahead of Raiden. Raiden seems to have a fairly clean car. Johns is on his way through the chicane. Dean's a bit damaged, and then you got Wasaki and Jasper, Micro J's with damage. Gray obviously recovering from his but look at the damage on these cars. Playman's got going, but majority of these cars are heavily damaged. Look at the rear wing of that BMW. It is crooked. Nikita losing out to Davis. So what's your next closest fight? It is Fat Bloke versus Tucker. And I think with a very, very clean McLaren out in front of Nova, I think it's going to be difficult for any of these guys to catch him. And he is out in front. And Craig in a solid P3 at the minute as well. He's keeping his teammate behind him. Fat Bloke as well is behind this squabble of cars. And Nova's not really racing away ahead. Matt's still within reach of him. And anything happens to him, he's in a good opportunity to try and capitalise. Davis in 8th with Nikita in 9th. Mulder's now starting to make some headway on these cars. But everyone else, MB Pitts is right on the back of Josa, and Josa obviously with heavy damage, and the Aston Martin driver able to stick with him for a minute, as Playman has returned back to the pits. That's interesting. So DJ Phil has finally got going. Well, Wasaki's in the pits. Leon Fernie's still got major damage, as has Richie and Winter. All these cars, I think Richie's now gone green. Yes, he has. But serious damage to those cars. Tucker, fastest lap of the race to him so far. And Craig now has brought that gap down to Duffin. So Matt having a bit of a messy lap by the looks of things. And it's brought all these cars together, including Fat Bloke and Flem Speed 1. I don't think we'll be a million miles away. Nova to the line. He now goes fastest overall. But Matt now is going to be under some pressure from some fast McLarens and a very punchy Mercedes and Porsche behind. Goudet's not a million miles away. Davis has had a moment, I think, as well. So he's lost out to Nikita and Max Mulder. He's now behind Andrews. Winter's now finally coming out of the pits. Wasocki, though, with major damage. I think he's going to be there for a while. And Andrews goes into turn 1. He goes a little bit deep. Davis looking to try and make a move. Looking all sorts of places. Looking to the inside of Villeneuve. Is he going to get the job done there? No, he's not. As we look here, as Matt's now got traffic, Craig is now starting to pressurise him. The 32, that is Dimasaki. He's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane with major damage. How's he done that? As Fat Bloke now is really hustling the back of Tucker. And Flem Speed 1 is going to be interested in this as well, as we got the Ferrari driver of Richie right in the way of this squabble. Craig is right on the rear wing, and Matt is just tripping over the Ferrari, and Richie finally gets out of the way, but it's just Constantine and all them together, and Matt has really got his hands full here. This has allowed Nova to just basically disappear. Matt, as down the inside goes Craig. I think he missed his brakes. Matt goes wide. Tucker's now going to go through, as will Fat Bloke. Yes, he will. Oh, Fat Bloke and Matt came together. Flem Speed 1 is right in this now. I don't think that's really fair, Matt, because you kind of got caught out by Craig, and Craig really was missed his brakes and lost out there. And I think Craig is trying to let Matt through. Yes, he is. He's allowed Matt back through. Very respectable there from Craig. Allowing Matt to go back through. I think Matt just got bullied then into the end of the lap. So Tucker now back up into P2. Playman jump is straight out of the way. He doesn't want to be involved in this squabble. As Goudet now has caught this pack after they were too busy tripping over one another. Now Craig's got a problem here. He's obviously just out of sync now. So he has to try and get himself back focused. And Matt now right on the rear wing of Flem Speed 1. Tucker is just starting to try and extend that gap to Fat Bloke. What else is going on? Davis has got past Andrews finally. Johnson 30th. He's got Michelle behind him. Everyone else is pretty much spread out at the minute. I think Johns is going to be the next one to try and make a move. But Tucker is ahead of Fat Bloke, ahead of Flem Speed 1, ahead of Matt, ahead of Craig, ahead of Goudet. And Nikita's not a million miles away, but 10.1 down the road, it is Nova, while these guys are all too busy tripping over one another. I think at every round so far, I think Matt has been on the podium at least once. Let me just confirm that fact. Matt. Yeah, every round he's been on the podium at least once, and so far at Imola he's had a 5th. He's now got back past Flem Speed 1, so that's 1 place made. He's now got to try and catch Fat Bloke to get back onto the podium, but Flem Speed is coming back. He's in the slipstream of the BMW. Can he look to try and find a way through? As soon as the Porsche comes out of the slipstream, it does not have the legs on any of the cars. Flem Speed 1 down the inside, he goes a little bit deep. And he has to fall back behind, and that's going to allow Craig to have a sniff on an opportunity down the inside as they head up towards Villeneuve. But Flem Speed 1 should be able to hold that, and Goudet is now slowly picking onto the back of them. So Tucker from Fat Bloke, from Matt Duffin, from Flem Speed. Now Craig's made a slight mistake. Goudet's looking interested. In the background, Nikita's been caught by Max Mulder. And Andrews now starting to become some pressure under Johns. Who else is having a good race so far? Micro J's is now trying to defend from Gray. Gray after his drive-through penalty. trying to recover his race. But Tucker now with a bit of clean air is starting to pull away from Fat Bloke. Matt is starting to make some time on Flem Speed 1 as these guys start to calm down a little bit. It's Goudet who's looking the more racy one now on the back of the McLaren driver of Craig. Excuse me as I get a quick drink. A little bit of damage on the side of that Mercedes, as you can see. So Goudet looking a little bit wounded at the minute compared to the cars in front of him. Oh, as Goudet's missed his brace, he's hit the back of Craig, and a little bit more dust kicked up in front of him. But that was Flem Speed 1 man, no real harm done there. And Goudet just missed his brakes ever so slightly there by the looks of things, so just tapped the back of Craig. And I think no harm done so far. But Tucker pulling away. Well, he's not. Fat Bloke brought a little bit of time back. Matt and Flem Speed in their little squabble, and now it's Craig and Goudet, so having 3 fights of 2 at the minute. What else is going on? Johns is not past Andrews. He's actually under some pressure from Michelle now. So possibly look to try and make a move on Andrews, but couldn't do so. Michelle now on the back of the BMW. This is the group of damaged cars. That is Winter actually in the middle of all this. He needs to get out of the way. Yes, he's got a clean car, but he's in the middle of a scrap at the minute. Johns will not be too impressed as Andrews has made a mistake. Winter is really getting in a fight that he does not want to be involved in, and he's about to make contact with leading cars. He's got around the outside of the the Porsche, and he's just ended up hampered. Johns, who's trying to race in the fight, he's fighting for 11th place, and Michelle's gone round. He's just touched the curb and he's gone off. Winter, though, is really starting to become a little bit of a nuisance in this scrap. And John's obviously defending from a back marker. Tucker, meanwhile, still 9/10. Matt's under pressure from Flem Speed. Where's Goudet? Goudet's lost time. 2.2 now to Craig. And now Nikita's looking interested on the back of the Mercedes driver. Max Mulder's gone a little bit wide. Kelly Davis in his own little world because Andrews is defending hard behind him from Johns and a back marker as well. They bounce away over the chicane. That has pushed Johns wide. Winter stays behind. Raiden is looking interested on the back of them. Michelle has got Gray behind him. Micro J's lost out to Jay. Dimasoki's still got to do his stop and go, and I believe he's just done it. But Winter, with a fresh car, is obviously quicker with a repaired car. But he's right in the way, and he's finally allowed the leaders through. And Tucker looks like he's just struggling a little bit with pace compared to Fat Bloke at the minute. They come through this. Yeah, he's just lost a 10th in Sector 1. So his Fat Bloke starting to bring that gap down. Meanwhile, 12 seconds down the road, Nova with fastest lap, looking very good in the Pro-Am category. And Tucker keeping Fat Bloke behind him. Matt starting to creep on the back of him. Now he's got a little bit of momentum behind him. He's able to try and focus on his lap times. Goudet still got a little bit of pressure from Nikita. Johns is still trying to find a way through on Andrews. Andrews goes wide. Johns is through. And up towards Toaster they go, and the Porsche driver is finally through. What can he do about Kelly Davis? A little bit of ding-dong towards the end of the sprint race. Can he have a race with him? As Michelle has now caught onto the back of the Ferrari of Richie. He's being given the flash to move out of the way. Their teammates as well. Dean's moved up the place. But Nova still leads the way. 30 minutes still yet to go. Nikita lost big time there. He's now got half a second to Fat Bloke, but it seems like he's gained that time back in the final sector. And Matt and Flem Speed 1 also just starting to creep back up to him once again. So it seems like Tucker seems to be struggling in the first and middle sector and then brings it all back in the final. Matt has brought that gap down. Flem Speed as well. These two are the two restricted cars. Goudet still got Nikita behind him, trying to find a way through on him. Everyone else further back is spread out quite nicely. So on lap 8, it is Nova with the fastest lap leading the way as Tucker sits in P2, Fat Bloke P3, Duffin P4, Flem Speed 1 P5, your championship rivals at the minute. Nova will be gaining big points out of this as well, so he'll be a championship contender by the end of Imola. Craig sitting in P6, Goudet P7, Nikita P8, Max Mulder P9, Davis P10. Just as the window opens, John's P11, Andrews P12, Raiden 13th, Dean 14th, Michelle 15th, Micro J 16th, Ian Gray 17th, MB Pitts 18th, Josa 19th, DJ Phil 20th, Winter 21st, Richie 22nd, Leon Funny 23rd, Wasaki 24th, and Playman 25th. Pit window is now open, and already Leon Funny comes in straight away, and Nova goes on through. Who is going to opt to pit, as Matt has brought the gap down to Fat Bloke to less than a second, and Fat Bloke straight away into the pits. Wants to get his stop over and done with, as Craig also goes on through. So it's Fat Bloke, Flemsby 1 and Goudet all opt into pit straight away. Obviously they'll just get dropped and sent away. So Flemsby 1 was right behind Matt. This should be interesting to see if he repairs the car or not, as Fat Bloke just gets dropped straight away. So where will Matt be come the end of Fat Bloke's pit stop? So Flemsby 1 actually didn't get dropped straight away. So Max Mulder and Goudet, nope, Goudet's not. He's obviously repairing the damage. 217 has got to stop and go. That's probably Leon Fernie. So Fat Bloke now comes off the limiter. And where is Matt on track? He's only now at the far end of Pirazza. So that's the gap that they're going to be looking for. So everyone else really spread out, as Davis has made a mistake and Johns is back on the rear of him once again. Max Mulder's bouncing over the dirt by the looks of things. So Davis and Johns going at it once again. They were racing towards the end of the sprint race. Will Johns opt to pit early to try and get some clean air again? Nova carries on through. He's got quite a comfortable gap over Tucker at the minute. So all these guys opting to stay out. Craig has come in. Now this is going to be a good indicator. Who was he racing against? He was racing against Goudet. So Goudet is currently, he obviously wasn't a good example. Flem Speed 1. He's currently gone through the middle chicane. Nova Verstappen, says Jamie Brazier. A little bit of that I'm feeling right now. So through the chicane goes Flemsby 1. This is what we're going to be looking at. Craig has gone green. So now we get to see what the gap is, roughly, we need to be looking at. So once they've gone green, Flemsby 1's gone into the final few corners. That's Leon Fernie having to serve his stop and go. As Flemsby 1 exits the final corner, Craig is not even towards the line yet. Flemsby 1 crushes the start, finish line to 57. Andrews gets the stop and go, and there goes Flem Speed 1. So if they're in just at the start of the final sector, obviously this game's a little bit weird. It starts it from the middle of the chicane. That's where they'll end up. So Johns has already cleared Davis by those things, so he's managed to find a way through while we were busy trying to find the sector where they need to be. Matt's been trying to bring that gap down to Tucker. Now Fat Bloke's out of his way. Fat Bloke has opted to pit, but he's stuck behind Michelle. So obviously the issue that these guys are going to have pitting early is they've got to get through this traffic now who opt not to pit. So we're starting to get that situation here with Fat Bloke, who's now onto the back of Michelle, who's got damage. And obviously he's trying to go for a different tactic where he's trying to go as long as he possibly can. Tucker carries on, as does Duffin. So does Nikita as well. So Michelle now is going to be under some immense pressure from Fat Bloke and is probably not going to be fighting him too hard, knowing that it's probably not his fight. To go through the chicane. Oh, by the way, Jamie, happy birthday to your girlfriend, as I saw you posted that earlier tonight. Fat Bloke heading towards the final sector. Is he going to clear Michelle as Davis up to pit as well? So Davis is going to get his pit stop done and dusted. This is your closest fight on track at the minute. And Fat Bloke really needs to clear Michelle. The Mercedes should have the advantage in a straight line over this wounded Ferrari. And Michelle stays to the left. I think this should be relatively easy for Fat Bloke, hopefully. Around the outside, Michelle's still there. They're still side by side. The Ferrari driver isn't making it easy. He's going to go down the inside, and Fat Bloke is being held up massively here. And Duffin is bringing the gap down to Tucker. So Fat Bloke is going to be in trouble in a minute. Has this strategy not worked out for him? Because Duffin with clean air, as you can see now, it's now happening to Tucker. He's now caught up with a back marker of Gray, and Duffin is slowly bringing that gap down. Fat Bloke still hasn't cleared Michelle. So Flem Speed 1 is going to be looking to try and clear these cars as well. As you see there, Craig flashing the lights to Playman just to allow him to know, I'm here, I'm coming through as well. But Nova, comfortable lead out in front. Tucker now down the main straight. Matt Duffin, what does he do? He's staying out as well. You might as well, if you can see the track map, and I know some of the guys has the stream on as well, they can see what I'm seeing, and they can see where cars are struggling or fighting or a bit in issues. But yeah, Matt's obviously seeing that Fat Bloke struggling to try and get past Michelle, and he's using, right, I've got clean air, let's use this now. While Fat Bloke is struggling to clear cars. And again, Michelle doesn't have to get out of the way. He is he's able to fight for this position. And he is. He's making Fat Bloke work for it. Which I don't think Fat Bloke would be too happy about it. Raiden's into the pits. All the gaps relatively spread out. Fat Bloke needs to get this job done. He's going to go to the outside this time. And Michelle is going to stick to the right hand side of the circuit. This must be done now. He needs to get it done into Tamburello. Yep, and that's it, done now. I think Michelle realised that actually I'm probably holding both of us up instead of really fighting who we're meant to be fighting right now. So Fat Bloke finally clearing him. And what can he do now about Duffin and Tucker with that clean air? Nikita's having a quiet little race, but minding his own business. He's got a relatively clean BMW at the minute, so he's got everything in order. And Gray, what would have happened if he hadn't possibly out of position, maybe too fast on the start? Who knows? But they got to be in that green box. We are at the halfway mark. And that's going to be the end of the poll, and it's split between Nova and Mulder, but slightly over to Nova. Matt now pits, and that is timing. He could see Fat Bloke is in the chicane. So, this should be interesting. I mean, for the pros, it's definitely interesting. They'll know where other cars are if they have the full track map. That's an Aston Martin going backwards. That's MB Pitts. Is facing the wrong way, but he's managed to not cause any issues and got going again. Matt comes into the pits. He stops and he goes. There is Fat Bloke into the final corner. Now, Matt obviously was a lot further down the pit lane. Has those couple of laps of Fat Bloke being stuck behind Michelle helped Duffin out? Here comes Fat Bloke. There is Duffin. He's now off the limiter. Where is he? There he is. And Fat Bloke has lost out to Matt here. But Fat Bloke is going to be up pressure, temperature, and he's going to be in the groove. Well, Matt has got to try and get back into the groove. But Matt overcutting has worked. Richie now into the pits. So we'll see if Fat Bloke can bring that gap down. So when does Tucker pit now? Obviously, he had a quite healthy gap of 2 seconds to Matt. But Nova, though, way out in front, 14.1, and just seems to be extending it. He's now opting to pit. Don't speed too fast. You've got the advantage. Just get it stopped. So we're still waiting for a few guys to pit. But it's Nova into the pits. Tucker still not opted to pit yet. He stays out another lap. He's currently P2. P3 is Nikita. Will he choose to pit? Into the final corner he goes. Yes, he's coming in pit lane. John's in P4, Duffin P5. He's going to have Fat Bloke trying to hunt him down in P6. P7 at the minute is Richie, Michelle, but still yet to set his pit stop. Flem Speed 1 currently 8th and trying to work his way through the traffic. Craig is 9th. Max Mulder in 10th, Goudet in 11th, Davis in 12th, Raiden in 13th, Dean in 14th, 15th, sorry, is Gray, and he's had a big moment, and he's in the wall, and if this was a week ago, he would be flying into space right now after the update. Micro J's is 16th, 17th is MB Pitts, Joester is 18th, DJ Phil 19th, John Andrews in 20th, Richie in 21st, Winters 23rd, Playman in 23rd still to Pitt, Wasaki and Leon Fernie rounds out the order. Nova has come into the pits and gone again, and is already into the end of the first sector. Nikita has gone green, and he falls in behind Flemspeed 1. That's allowed Michelle into the pits, and Flemspeed has also cleared Winter as well, so he's now can look to try and hunt the two in front, which Fat Bloke is bringing that gap down to Matt. It was a second, it's now 1.4. So first sector, he's lost a little bit of time. But straight away, Nova comes out in lovely clean air, 16.2 ahead of Matt. He's only got Johns in front of him and Tucker, who both need to pit. DJ Phil needs to pit as well. And all these guys will finally get their pit stops done. Did Michelle repair the car? No, he's stuck with it. Where's that going to put him? Davis has already gone into the first sector. Has Raiden. Dean is now coming towards Michelle. Michelle's actually crossed the white line there. But Tucker into the pits. Nova not quite caught him yet. Andrews right in the way here as Fat Bloke tries to clear him. Into the chicane they come. Does Johns commit into pits? Yes, he does. Now, obviously last week, it was the first time he raced with the new rules and he changed tyres. This time he's probably learned his lesson. Nova retains the lead. Who is going to be in that second place position? Tucker has gone green. Matt is in the final corner. So this is going to be relatively close, actually, to be fair. Matt is down the straight. Tucker's going to lose out here. Has Tucker repaired damage? I think he may have. Here comes Matt and Fat Bloke. There's Tucker on the left. They've lost out. Matt is now in second. And Fat Bloke's gone ahead. Has Flemspeed 1 go ahead? No. Where is Tucker? There he is. Where is Tucker? I've lost him now. There he is. Where's Flemspeed 1? He's right behind him, so that's going to be a scrap. I think Johns may not. He's not repaired his car, but it's now Nova from Matt from Fat Bloke. So, we'll see how this turns out now. Nova, though, if he doesn't drop it and he keeps out the wall and doesn't get any penalties, he's looking very good for a very solid race win, well controlled and very much Max Verstappen-esque. Flemspeed 1 note onto at the back of Tucker. Fat Bloke looking to try and pressurise Matthew Duffin. Now the pit stops are pretty much all done. This is your running order. Nova, Matt, Duffin, Fat Bloke, Tucker, Flemspeed 1, Craig, Mulder, Nikita, Johns, Goudet, Davis, Raiden, Michelle, Dean, Gray, Micro J's, MB Pitts, Andrews, DJ Phil, Richie, Winter, Wasaki, Fernie, Playman. And it looked like, for a second, Dean was looking to try and make a move on Michelle, but can't quite get the job done. We go back to Fat Bloke, who's brought the gap down to half a second. Can Tucker start to get his tyres and temperature up so that he can get to the back of these guys? He's too busy. Got Flemspeed 1 behind him. So, again, the oval cut has worked for some drivers, but not for others. Fat Bloke, though, right on the back of Matt as they head down to Wayne the Straight. Mercedes grunt with Matt's wounded BMW due to the restrictor. Oh, Fat Bloke made a mistake there. He got a little bit squirrely there. And there, Flemspeed 1 has cleared Tucker. So there's me thinking Tucker is going to start putting some pressure on the guys in front. He's actually lost out to Flemspeed. And they're 4 seconds off the back of them. And Craig quietly minding his own business in 6th. Mulder's starting to catch him. Nikita's not a million miles away. But other than that, those are your fights. I believe there was a fight between Michelle and Dean. Dean's lost out, actually, so Dean is not really in a scrap there. So it's really your top guys we're going to be looking at, and it is going to be Fat Bloke versus Duffin. I will see if we can try and get maybe Fat Bloke in with us in the Discord. I don't know if he... we'll have to try and sort something out, possibly. It would be nice to hear from most of the Xbox guys, so we might have to sort out something out on the Discord so we can hear from them. Meanwhile, Flemsby won a little bit loose on there. He's got Andrews in the way, flashing his lights. Come on, get out the way, get out the way. I've got a car right up behind me. And really, Andrews needs to be getting out of the way, and he's opted to do it at... And he moves straight up to the left-hand side and finally lets them through. The only Audi rider here at the minute. The Fat Bloke losing a little bit of time again. And what is Andrews doing? He's attacking Tucker into turn one. He's right on the rear wing. And he's now finally eased off there. Nikita is looking to bring that gap down to Mulder. So Max Mulder's had a little bit of a mare in this one. And Fat Bloke actually lost time here to Duffin. So Matt is now starting to get back into a groove, possibly. But once again, Matt is there where he needs to be. Again, not been out of the podium positions every round. He's made at least one appearance every round on the podium, so we'll see how Fat Bloke thinks of that and try and find a way through. So I'm just typing up drivers of the days who I think some honourable mentions, but Matt's still trying to hang in there. As we've got 13 minutes left to go, 18 laps for Nova. And Matt still ahead of Fat Bloke. Flemsby 1 hasn't really dropped Tucker. Tucker's stuck with him. Nikita got closer to Mulder now as well. Raiden has caught Davis. So that should be an interesting fight between those two. Looks like Davis just might be struggling a little bit with his McLaren. But you see there, Fat Bloke just has a lot more confidence abusing the curbs by the looks of things in the first sector. He brings that gap down. Tucker brings the gap down to Flemspeed 1. I think it's going to take one of the other drivers to make a mistake for the other one to capitalize or pull away. You see in the background, two fantastic fights between some great drivers here. This top four have really shown some great racing here. Nikita brought the gap down to Mulder. Max Mulder has gone wide. Oh, no, that's Winter. It's me thinking that was Mulder, but it was not. It was Nikita. It was Winter going wide. As Joso is actually under some pressure. No, he's not. They're just all lapped cars. They're either several laps down or not. As Davis and Raiden are now going at it. This is 3/10 separating them. Also, Fat Bloke is within 3/10 of Matt. Or it's going to get hot and spicy towards the end of this race. Either all these guys, I'm pretty sure, have opted not to change the tyres. This Fish race may have some tweaks and changes for next season, where it might be even longer. So when tyres and fuel really might take into effect then. And obviously we've been talking about an endurance league as well, driver swaps involved. So keep that eye out on the Discord and on the Facebook and Instagram pages as well. So Matt and Fat Bloke across the line. They were 3 seconds ahead of the two behind. It's now 2.3 and Flemsby 1 is now starting to pull away from Tucker. And Tucker has no answer now, as Nikita has caught Mulder. It's going to be a close fight, as also Raiden looking to try and make a move on Davis. They head towards the final few corners here. Nikita looking to try and make a move. I think Fat Bloke's made a mistake. He's lost some major time to Matt. And we look to other fights at the minute. Raiden knows still trying to find a way past on Davis. Nikita's on the back of Mulder. And Craig has not really had a great run here. He seems to have lost quite a bit of time, actually, to his teammate. He's cleared Andrews. That might help him out a little bit, because Andrews seems to be a little bit of a pain for some of the back markers. For the leaders, sorry. So we'll see how he gets through this. Oh, Mulder's gone wide. That's going to allow Nikita to have a look. He's going to go to the outside. That's a brave place to overtake. George Russell ended up in the wall on the left-hand side and started crying by the side of the circuit. So, as Raiden has got past Davis, and Kelly's got onto the curb, and the back end did not like it, and around he goes. So Nova on lap 20, 10 minutes still yet to go. And he's got a comfortable lead. Duffin seems to have extended the gap. Fat Bloke has pushed too hard, I think. And now Flem Speed 1 is bringing that gap down. Tucker seems to have lost pace with these guys and not able to stick with them. Mulder clears Andrews, and Nikita's gone straight through. Johns is looking to try and keep with him. Goude's on his own. Raiden's cleared Davis. And everyone else seems to be in order. But now Flem Speed 1 looking to try and gain some points on Fat Bloke. Can't allow Matt to keep disappearing into the distance, but Matt has done enough controlled damage here at Imola, starting right at the very back, and has worked his way through in the sprint race. Oh, Fat Bloke's gone wide. That's going to tempt Flem Speed 1. He's going to go to the outside of Tosa. And Fat Bloke defending now for his life. He wants to keep the Porsche behind him. 5 minutes to the end of the race. I will put the poll up for driver of the day. I'll get your guys' version on who you think should be driver of the day. You can see Flem Speed 1 all over the back of the Mercedes of Fat Bloke. And while this is all happening, Matt has disappeared. He's 2.4 up the road now. 2.5 seconds pretty much. And Tucker has brought that gap back down again. So he is now coming back into it. So Flem Speed and Fat Bloke fighting one another, and again they're so close to one another, but they're so respectful in their lines. Max Mulder has stayed ahead of Nikita. Nikita's had moments somewhere because he's lost out to Johns. And John's now trying to clear Andrews. Flem Speed 1 still stuck behind Fat Bloke. Tucker's there as well now. We'll go back to John's trying to clear Andrews. He has done. But Flem Speed 1 right on the rear wing. Goude's got a drive-through penalty for track limits. More points awarded for other drivers now because he's going to do his drive-through. He's got quite a gap to Raiden, to be fair, so he might be able to get in and out before he gets there, but he needs to serve it now. Dean's into the pits. Has Johns finally cleared Andrews? Yes, he has. So can he try and get Max Mulder towards the end? Nikita has got to try and clear these two as Goude straight away into the pits. There is Raiden. He's in the final corner. I think Goude should be fine for Davis. But here is your fight for the final podium position. Fat Bloke struggling in the hairpin, and that's where the Porsche seems to be so strong in tractions. The Mercedes struggling here. Fat Bloke under some immense pressure now from Flem Speed 1. Both of these boys are now race winners. But right now, they're all fighting to stay on the podium. And here comes Tucker into the mix as well, as he'll go through the chicane. Johns is now brought that gap down to a Mulder as Goude has done his drive-through. Where is Raiden? He's already into turn 1. So he's only just stayed ahead of Davis. So not what John needs at the minute. But Flem Speed 1 has had a great run through the chicane as Fat Bloke has to defend the inside towards the final corners here. And the Porsche looks better as they head into Rivazza. And Flem Speed 1's gone a little bit wide, touching the gravel, giving him a poor run. And now it is all status quo once again. Fat Bloke with the advantage of the straight line. Here's Johns. He's right on the rear wing of Mulder as they head up to Rivazza once again, and it's Mulder just trying to hang in there. Nova and Duffin are probably thinking, okay, cool, we'll just shoot off now. Also, Michelle's on the back of Davis, but John's obviously the disadvantage of the straight line of the Porsche, not helping him out. Fat Bloke stays ahead still of Flem Speed 1. All the action starts to happen towards the end of this race. Dean's in the pits. I don't know if that's a retirement or not. We'll keep an eye on it. Wasaki flashing his lights. I'm not sure why. But Davis is under pressure from Michelle. We go back to the leaders, though, and this is where the Mercedes seems to struggle. He's got a bit of an advantage. Matt's had a mistake, I think. Because, yeah, Matt's made a mistake somewhere, because now Fat Bloke's got a little bit closer to Matt. 5 minutes left of the session. That means it is poll time. So get your votes in on Driver of the Day. Nova, Fat Bloke, Tucker, Duffin, and Flemspeed won. I could have put Flemspeed, but he's having a great fight right now. Johns and Mulder together. Michelle looking to get past Davis. But we go back to your top, second, third, fourth, and fifth. All batting out for the podium position. Fat Bloke is still defending heavily from Flemspeed. Flemspeed can't find a way through. Tucker's had a great run through the chicane, but a poor exit, and that Porsche hooking its rear wheels up and being able to pull away from the McLaren. But Tucker's got so much better straight line here. They come down to Ravazza once again. And because they're all too busy watching each other, Matt is trying to eke back away, but Matt is having, he's had a mistake somewhere, and it's allowed this whole group to bunch up. Nova, yeah, I've not seen Nova at all this race. He went into turn one and off he went. Here they go again. So Matt is losing time. Is Matt having to fuel save? Has he underfueled ever so slightly? Johns is still trying to find a way past Mulder. Goudet is now on the back of Michelle, who wants to try... no, he's lost out. So Goudet has actually dropped behind Davis and Michelle. Oh, look at these four. These four all bowing out for the final podium positions. I think Tucker had a look at the Porsche driver. 4 different manufacturers, 4 different drivers, 4 different teams. And they're all bowing it out for second, third, and fourth, and fifth. Oh, this is great racing. Who said you can't race at Imola? Because these 4 are putting on a fantastic show. Matt is absorbing all of the pressure. Fat Bloke seems to be taking more of the pressure. You have the BMW strengths in the first sector, the Mercedes' strength in the final sector, and then you got the Porsche that's so agile in the middle. And Flemspeed looks to the inside for a split second, and Fat Bloke defends it. Tucker misses his brakes. He's had to straight line the chicane, but he's managed to kind of keep it together and stick with this fight. Matt's pulled away ever so slightly. Where is Nova? He's got 2 more laps, I reckon, so he's got 1 more lap and the end of this race. But these 4, what a fight they put on. John still can't find a way past on Mold. Oh, he's hit the curb quite hard there. Nikita is now interested in this scrap, and I think this is basically your fight. Fat Bloke has had a great run out of the final corner. Duffin, with the restrictor and weight, really can't do anything in a straight line. So I think Fat Bloke is going to try and outbrake the BMW. Fat Bloke up the inside, and I think Matt has to... He's sticking to the outside. He's kept the position. Just Fat Bloke is under pressure from Flemspeed. Flemspeed has to lift. They go through Tamburello. What a run through here, as Flemspeed still on the outside as they head up towards Villeneuve. Fat Bloke has to defend the inside, but Flemspeed will have the inside for the second part of Villeneuve, and he's got the run. Is Tucker going to go up down the inside with him? No. Yes, he does, but he makes contact with Fat Bloke. Oh, they're still making contact. So these 2 tripping over each other, and Flemspeed 1 gets in front. I think Tucker needed to be a bit more aware of what was going on around him then, because Fat Bloke was still there. He hadn't lost out that much. But can Fat Bloke recover and come back at him? Nova will be starting his final lap in due course. He could actually slow... Oh, no, not quite. Not quite. He's got 25.4 seconds ahead of this fight. John's still looking to try and pass Mulder, but he can't do so. Goudet is trying to catch Davis. What has happened to Michelle? Michelle's had a moment. He's dropped further back. So Flemspeed 1 now is going to try and attack Duffin, and Fat Bloke has gone from the podium positions and he's dropped down. Guys, like I said, get your votes in on who you think driver of the day is so far. Only 4 votes so far, and all going the way of Nova at the minute. But what a scrap that these guys have put on. Max Mulder still holding back the Porsche driver of Johns. And Flemspeed had a great run out the final corner by the list of things. The Porsche, with its straight line disadvantage against Matt's restricted BMW, they're pretty even going towards Tamburello. Yeah, Nova's already at Orton Park, and Flemsby was going to run outside. Flatbrooks missed his corner, and Flemsby was always going to have to turn at some point, and Matt loses out here, and Flemsby won up in the second, and Matt is under pressure from Tucker and Fat Bloke, and Tucker's going to go up the inside, I think, of Matt. Matt is under some pressure here, and Tucker tries to switch in Villeneuve, doesn't quite get the job done. Michelle's gone off and gets right out of the way. A poor from Tucker, says Sam in the chat. A little bit poor, yeah, and he's now trying to look past Matt right now. Nova comes up to the chicane. He's about to finish and win this race, but it's still Matt versus Fat Bloke versus Tucker, and Mulder is still under pressure from Johns. We'll come back to them momentarily. Flemsby once disappeared from this squabble. And I think Fat Bloke is thrown in the towel. He's not quite got the pace of Tucker and Matt at the minute. Where is Nova? He's into the final corner. He's made it 2 wins now, as Nova's going to come home and take the win from lights to flag. No issues whatsoever. Nova, fastest lap, Grand Slam, pole position. Congratulations to Nova. He wins the feature race at Imola. Flemsby won for second, but it's still this fight that's going on to round out the podium places. Matt, is he going to keep his record, his 100% record of being at least on the podium once every round? Flemsby won into the final corner. I think Matt's just going, he has a wiggle on the exit, but Flemsby won. It's going to come home and finish in second place. He takes the second place position. Matthew Duffin is going to finish on the podium. Tucker in fourth. Fat Bloke in fifth. Craig is going to come home for sixth place position. It's been a quiet race for him. Max Mulder. Oh, Nikita's had a moment. Craig come home in sixth. Johns is just going to hang in there. He's got Mulder right behind him. As Dan Johns is coming up right behind him. He's trying to break the toe. But it's going to be Johns for 7th place. Max Mulder is going to finish in 8th. Nikita is not going to finish in 9th. It's going to be Raiden, I think, as PN will be, I think, relatively happy with this. A solid P9 for him. He's flashing lights. He looks pretty happy with himself for that one. P9 for him. So, PM Motorsport in P9 at Imola, he'll be happy with that. I think Nikita is going to hang in there for a 10th place position. He will do, with major damage to the front. I'm not sure what happened to that. Goudet is going to come home for 11th, and Davis is the last of the guys to finish. The 88, 57, sorry, of Andrews behind. Who is the 88? Oh, Andrews is rolling to the line. I think he's ran out of fuel. So, yeah. Nova, your race winner. Flemspeed won in second, and Matthew Duffin is your top 3. I don't know if we can get Nova into the party. I'll try and invite him in. But, wow. That was an epic fight between Matthew Duffin and Flemspeed 1. Fat Bloke and Tucker was a fantastic scrap between them. See if Nova will come into the chat. Matt, how are we looking for tables, buddy?
Just refreshing them now.
Reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at Simplay Motorsport. Make sure you get your votes in on Driver of the Day as well. I'll put in my vote for Driver of the Day momentarily as we've got Nova in. We'll speak to these two in a few moments' time. Reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, have a look at the description below and look at all of our fantastic sponsors. And we will start with Matt. And, Matt, what happened to the end of that? It looked like you had quite a comfortable gap. Neck end of 3 seconds by the end of the race, and they all just started to reel you in. Was it just loss of pace, a mistake? What happened?
No mistakes, no loss of pace, just the restrictor. They must have made mistakes behind me because that Mercedes was catching me, and then he dropped off the back, and my laps were consistent. So you've seen tonight just how bad that really is. You've just seen there. You know, I've come away with a 3rd and a 5th. Yeah, fantastic, but you know,
that's the skills of being in the pro category, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Knowing
and you've seen twice there with the Merc and the Porsche at the end. You know, just the straight line speed difference. I'm just come Monza and Spa, you're just a sitting duck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to try and get all your points where you can at these circuits that are tight, twisty. Obviously, like you said, probably might not have been the night you probably wanted thinking about it. You were last going into the start of this race in the sprint. You walked away with a fifth. You know, it's not all bad. It's good championship points.
Can't grumble with the results. Cannot grumble with the results at all. The results have been fantastic. But you see Nova, disappearing the distance 30-second plus win. Demoralising a little bit.
I mean, we obviously know what you can do in the pro category. Obviously, we know what you can do on ACC, so that's obviously why you got it. But obviously, regarding as well, we looked at, we watched you and Flemspeed go to Tamburello together side by side. He's carrying weight, but no restrictor. You're carrying the weight and restrictor. And it looked pretty even. Obviously, the Porsche doesn't have the best straight line speed and the straight line. You two were neck and neck going down into turn one. It seemed like the four of you were having a great little scrap. Just towards the end, it started getting a bit pushy.
It was fantastic scrap. I think towards the end, it was just tyres off, little bumping here and there. I know when me and Flem tapped each other, I'd had a bit of a moment through the first pot of Tamburello. It was even towards the end of the straight, but coming out the corner, the traction zone's just Flem was just
Porsche's so good in there anyway.
Yeah, and he was just alongside me. Whether that's because the Porsche was so good, mixed with we know what we saw at Nürburgring, what the car's like with no traction, with the weight and the restrictor, but just race one was the same as well. I was defending from Nova like mad because just in the straights he was everywhere. In the corners I could match him. In the straights it was just different story.
This was the rules of going into the Proam category for.
I'm not. Yeah, no, it's I'm not complaining. It's just hard to take. It's hard to take.
Obviously, next round is another British circuit, and we go to Autumn Park, where it is neck end of impossible to overtake. What do you hope from there?
Race one's going to be absolutely. I don't know. Patience is the aim of the game at Alton Park, and I start last. So, it's good. Race two is going to be about qualifying. It's kind of like the Monaco of the season. If I'm going to be honest with you, without Zandvoort there, Alton Park's the tightest circuit we've got this season. So, tonight seemed carnage in places. So next week could be
an interesting one.
That's the ruling. That's the rule of thumb here in play sport. But we'll see.
Another brief thing to quickly mention, obviously, Jaeger bring the gap down to the FSO racing team. Obviously, no Stawson. So you boys have brought that gap down. But it is getting close for the teams at the minute. It's all fairly close still for you guys. So, obviously, Dean's still turning up, scoring points. Is helping you guys out.
Yeah, fairly close. Obviously, we look to pull points back over FSO because obviously now they've lost Sorensen. We do look to close that gap. Our fight we're looking at is with John Gooday and the other Dean. Me and John were speaking the other day off air. We said that if John beats me because of certain limitations with my car, we really think it's a battle of the Deans, and it's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on. Obviously, you've got Nova with Lee Olsbrook. If Olsbrook were here tonight, they bring themselves back into the fight with Nova having a good night. So we move on to the next one. We see what we can do. But
nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the podium tonight.
Cheers, well done to Nova as well. Oh, I'm Fat Bloke, because Fat Bloke won race one, I believe.
He did win race one, his first win of the season. We do move over to Nova next, and that's more like it. Lights to flag, fastest lap, pole position. There's not much more you could have done in the feature race.
No, it was a pretty good race, to be honest. I've been practicing, obviously hard all week to try to keep up with Matt because, Matt's shown what he can do in all the other races. So for me to better him, I have to practice even harder, and that's what I did this week and last week with the cancellation. Gave me a lot more time to practice. But it was a very controlled race. I felt like I controlled the race quite well. I knew I had the pace on everyone, and my quali lap showed that. I did that and just sat back and watched everyone else to see what they were doing. So, but no, it was a really, really good race for myself, and I'm pretty happy with myself because it's probably the most dominant race I've done so far.
It has been indeed, and obviously that brings you back in the championship fight. You're still quite a bit away off Matt at the minute. He's got an advantage of 52 points, but you are now P3 in the championship. Obviously, you've had a couple of mistakes yourself going into a couple of rounds. I think it's now starting to just to get those mistakes out of the way and try and find those races and get it perfect. And then obviously the sprint races is going to be where you're going to be struggling now. It's trying to get through that pack.
Well, I struggled with the first sprint race today. you know, I think I got up to like P10 and then I pitted straight away as soon as I could, and then I came out behind Davis and he held me up for like good 3-4 laps, and I just could not get past him, which allowed Matt to get the jump on me. And
Yeah,
then me and Matt had a really good scrap in the last few laps as well, which was fun to do. And he just
probably
picked me by a tenth.
you probably came across probably the two hardest people to overtake on Simplay Motorsport, and
Yeah.
you managed to get past one, the other not so. But nonetheless, it's been a great night for you. Good points. They
Yeah.
said brings you back in the championship. We move to
Yeah.
Orton Park is the next round. How do you feel about Orton Park, and can you
I've
try
never
and
raced
bring
it.
that?
I've never raced it, so it's going to be an interesting one. But
Oh God.
Make sure
I've
you're on
heard
pole position.
stories. Yeah, I think. Well, if you look at my quali in all the races we've done, I think I've got 3 poles out of the 6 that we've
Yeah.
done. I think so. As long as I can pull it on pole, I'll be happy. So it'll be a lot of practice again for
I
the
think
rest
your
of the
sprint.
week and next week.
I think your sprint races where you're going to be watching
Yeah.
your bumpers and everything because it's going to
Yeah.
get tight. But
As long as I'm in
nonetheless,
front of Matt, that's all I care about.
nonetheless, though, mate, congratulations on the
No,
win, and
thank
also from the guys in the chat as well. They've given you driver of the day as well, so
Appreciate
congratulations on that
Thank
as
you.
well, and best of luck for Autumn Park.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that is the interviews with Matt and Nova. Regarding the championship standings, it looks like this. Duffin leads the way still. He's got a 49 point ahead of Flem Speed 1. Nova has brought that gap down with the win, pole, and fastest lap. He is now only 52 points behind the leader. Goudet is back up to 4th place with Mulder in 5th. 6th is Tucker. 7th is Davis. DJ Phil is 8th. 9th is Dean Gray is in 10th. Leon Fernie 11th. Micro Jays is 12th. Stawson 13th. Nikita 14th. Michelle is in 15th. Raiden 16th. Fat Bloke 17th. Craig 18th. Johns 19th. Andrews 20th. Playman 21st. Evans in 22nd, Joseph 23rd, Wasaki 24th, Winter 25th, Allsbrook 26th, Cranky Duckhead 27th, Richie 28th, 29th is MB Pitts, Peterson 30th, Fairness 31, and still the guys yet to score a point at the back. Regarding the teams, it is FSO Racing still leading the way, but that gap has been brought down 19 points to Jaeger Motorsport in 2nd. Greasy Bandit Racing not too far behind. They're 32 points behind the leader as well, with Bullet Bandits in P4, Team Audio Sport Remix in P5, ICNE Motorsport P6, BTC Jaeger Racing P7, Team Richie Corsa P8. P9, Team FBR, and Red Dragon Racing bringing up the rear. Manufacturers, McLaren leads the way from BMW, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes. Aston Martin and Bentley are now officially out of the Manufacturers Championship and cannot win it. They are 7th, 8th. 9th is Audi, 10th is Honda, Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan, and Retia still yet to score a point. That's been the Proams. It's been a dramatic night's worth of racing. Some great racing to see as well from some of these boys. They really put on a great show here tonight. And these boys will be getting themselves prepared and ready for the chaos of Autumn Park coming up. Driver of the day, I'm actually going to give it to the Fat Bloke. For me, I think you put on a stellar job in race 1 and then a great scrap between some of the big boys as well, which is great to see. But I've been Dan Davis. This has been the Pro-Am category, and Matt Duffin and PM Motorsport will be bringing you the live action for the pros tomorrow night at Imola with myself, Nash, Overtaker, Mike Matthews, and a few others at the back of the pack. What chaos will Pro commence? Normally, when the Pro-Ams are clean, the pros are a mess. Pro-Ams were a mess. What can the pros do? From myself and everyone here at Simply Motorsport, it is a good night.
And to all my stream, thanks for tuning in. Wasn't the race results that we wanted. 3rd and 5th messed up on the last lap, but hey, we go